Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to y'all, and happy holidays to y'all. Good to see ya. What's up, Streffel, Stone Rain, MTG, Fox Mulder, Outrageous, Labrador? How is everyone doing today? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully y'all are having a wonderful holiday season. So I wasn't sure I was going to be able to stream today, but it worked out. We got a free cube draft from Moto, like a free vintage cube, and I got a little bit of time between stuff, so I was like, you know what, let's hop on, do a little early, maybe a little short stream, do some cubing, see how everyone's doing this holiday season. So hopefully everyone is having a wonderful holiday season. Happy Boxing Day. Wait, is that British? Is that English? That's English, right? Is that Canadian? Is that like Beasties? Is that a Tomer thing? Anyway, we're just gonna chill and have some fun. It's kind of a slow time in the Magic world, so we can see if we can do something maybe ridiculous in Vintage Cube. Always have fun with Vintage Cube. Oh, British, I guess they're kind of connected, right? Kind of together. What's in the Holiday Cube? So honestly, it's Vintage Cube. They used to call it Holiday Cube, but they kind of shifted the name over to Vintage Cube now. Gift returned it, yeah. In the US, it's Boxing Day, is in returning the boxes of things you didn't want. Oh, I think the best present of the year. So my little brother, my big little brother, the one that plays basketball, he's like 7 feet tall. He got a hoodie as one of his Christmas presents, and I swear to God, it was like a belly hoodie. I didn't even know it was possible, but he's just so tall that the hoodie basically went to his belly button. So yeah, the good old returning gifts from the holiday season. Devil Dylan Hunter, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. I didn't get anything too wild. I got like a popcorn maker, which is kind of cool. A new coffee maker, which I really wanted. So some stuff like that. But yeah, it was a fun holiday season so far. But still got more. I got such a big family, and there's always then this thing and that thing. So the next week's still gonna be kind of busy, but it's gonna be super fun. So anyway, let's do our reminders. Let's start some cubing, and we can talk about holidays and Christmas and all that stuff. I've managed to catch your stream. How you doing? How's your Chris? Hey, what's up, Autism? Doing well, doing super well. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, holidays have been super fun so far. So I've been enjoying it. Glad we get a chance to stream. I got a gift of seeing family, and that's all. I mean, that's the best gift, right? Hopefully, depending on your family, but hopefully that's one of the good gifts. Anyway, reminders. Replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one to the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on there. No video yesterday because I figured who actually watches Magic YouTube on a holiday. So no video yesterday. Rest of the week though should be normal. Against odds tomorrow, all that stuff. Some cool end of the year stuff coming up this week. So there's some fun stuff coming up on the YouTube. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Wow, what do I have in my cart? What am I buying from Card Kingdom? Oh, bird token, plant token, Monarch. They rose the price on the plant token. I'm gonna have to get that one out of the cart. 8 more cents, not worth. My plant token finance scheme has crumbled. It's over. Anyway, merch page. We got new merch, all that stuff. Do we get a year's fail prediction next podcast? Yes. So next Monday's podcast, going up on the 1st of the year, is the traditional year in review podcast, where we go back over last year's predictions, make some for the future. Also, we have 2 more episodes in this year's Commander Clash, and then this season 15, and then we're gonna kick off the new season in the middle of January, and this is a big one. After 15 seasons, we're going to try some very exciting new stuff happening. So I'm excited to see what people think of the new season of Commander Clash. I know usually it's someone goes off, someone else comes on. More or less kind of keep doing the same thing. And while we still will have that aspect of changing the crew or whatever, there's actually maybe the biggest changes in the history of the series happening this season as we switch from 15 to 16. So big, exciting Commander stuff happening in the near future as well. But today, let's do some cubing. Let's see if we can build something busted. Chill, talk about holiday stuff, all that good stuff. How was all your holidays? Let's see. We should have a free. If you're a Magic Online player and you have an account, you don't even have to have actively used the account. But if you had an account before, I think it was December 12th of this year or something, they gave you a free vintage cube. It's like $10 worth of value. So if you're looking for something different to do this holiday season, jump onto your free cube draft, see if you can do something fun. So everyone, just as like a holiday gift. And I gotta shout out Daybreak. Daybreak definitely does a very good job with stuff like this, but we will use our free vintage point to join a vintage cube and see if we can build a busted deck. Yeah, just for having an account. If you have multiple accounts, each of them should have a free vintage cube in it. So yeah. Wow, there's a lot of people in Vintage Cube. Holy crap. Over 8,000. That's the biggest number I've seen in a long time. Holidays were fun, so family then played Pauper all as. Ooh, what are you playing in Pauper these days? I don't think you guys would ever do it, but idea for a podcast I have is MTG content creation analysis, comparing channels and content styles. Oh, that would be interesting. Maybe also challenging. I'm a big believer in like, I just wouldn't want anything to come across negative. That would be my worry, is like accidentally coming across as negative, because I don't think that would be healthy or good. Like, that's not something I want to do. But there's a way to do it in a like positive, maybe like our favorite content creators or something like that. Something like that could work. But I think like a critical eye on like MTG content creators, that would be a hard video to make without without causing hurt feelings and so forth. What do we have here? So Sheoldred obviously busted. Not that exciting though. No power. It might be correct just to take a fetch land. Wheel of Fortune can do some busted things in the right deck. We might be able to build a Wheel of Fortune deck. I wish we had fast. This is actually like kind of a bad pack. Urza is also very strong, obviously. You know what? Let's take Misty. Whoa. Going back to that Mishra's Factory, eh? Yes, we'll just take the Misty. Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. So we didn't get anything good in pack 1, but apparently the person next to us opened double power because we have a Mox here. Out of another, like, kind of meh pack, there's another fetch. We're going to be responsible. We're going to be responsible and take... Oh, you can't see the card in the upper right. I think I can fix this. Hang on. There we go. If I pop this up, then it shouldn't be covered by the chat. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Well, I mean, I think we take the Mox here. I honestly think fetch lands are like pretty high picks. It makes it very easy to splash, which is pretty powerful to have access to. I mean, the rest of this pack, Narset would have went good with that wheel in pack 1. I do like him in the right deck. There's also Turok, so there's some like discardy playing here, which I don't know if that'd be good, but it is a thing. Enlightened Tutor's fine, but I mean, I think we're just taking the Mox and going from there. At least we got a piece of power. Be careful clicking and dragging. Double click does all kinds of... I know, I have such a bad habit with clicking and... clicking and randomly having things happen. What are we taking here? Oh, boy, I feel like we're getting jank packs. Like, okay, so... There's a Savi Triome, which is the one Triome we cannot actually fetch with our Misty Rainforest. Awkward. There's a very fair Scavenging Ooze. Couple of Shock lands. I mean, I guess, like, Putrid Imp's good at Reanimator. Mystic Forge is good if you're an artifact deck. This is, like, another really... Yeah, Subtlety, I guess, is okay. I don't even know if Subtlety is that good, honestly. This is like another... Where's the big, powerful stuff that's going to push us? Should we take Seed Shark? Multiple people are saying Shark. You know, all right, let's try it. Wow, why does it keep jumping around? Okay. Move to deck. We'll take the Shark. We'll take the Shark and see what happens. I've never tried Shark in Vintage Cube. So what is the idea of Vintage Cube? I think it can be summed up as do broken things and stop broken things. Like, I think that's my goal in Vintage Cube. There's very powerful, like, Reanimator decks, Storm decks, Sneak Attack style decks, cheating big things into play. There's a lot of really powerful broken archetypes. And then there's a lot of powerful defense to that. Like, you want the Forces and Spell Pierces, things that can interact with that. So there's another kind of jank pack. Tamiyo? I mean, I guess we could take Tamiyo. Nothing else in this pack really speaks to me. Tameo, it works with the fetch. It kind of works with Chrome. You know what? Let's try it. Double clicking does do weird things, doesn't it? It jumps around to the start of the whoa, double planeswalker pack. This is interesting. I mean, we could be some sort of Simic. We could be a Simic deck. How about that? How about Simic, since we've taken all blue and green cards so far? What about Nissa? If we can find, maybe we can be like Simic Ramp. That would be kind of an interesting archetype. Like, if we can ramp early into Nissa and then like Upheaval seems sweet. Otherwise, like, there's a Triome, which does work with fetches. Contagions, that's the Black Force of Will, not one of the good ones. Click is also good. I think Click is in the conversation. I guess, do we want to be more, you know what? I kind of want Nissa. Let's go big. Let's see if we can go big. Let's see if we can be some sort of like Simic Roaming Throne. What is this card? Trostin, Founder of Benalia. When ATBs reveal the top 7 cards of the library, put any number of creatures in or land cards from among them. Oh, it's just a big card draw. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that card. Oh, it's one of the DMU. I see. One of the weird DMU legends. Yeah, it actually does seem kind of strong. It is in white, and we're not really in white. Roaming Throne is intriguing. I have no idea what it does in this queue. I guess it doubles our Shark. Titan of Industry is a fine thing to ramp into. Brainstorm does add... maybe Brainstorm. Yeah, we'll Brainstorm. I think that's fine. We have one fetch... Ooh, okay. Well, okay. We have a Craterhoof. Craterhoof is one of the best finishers for a green deck. So maybe we're like, oh, can we be like Simic Opposition, Upheaval, like ramp stuff? That is a really sweet archetype. Yeah, I think we just got to take the hoof, right? Auto is also good. Removal on a land's always good, but finally made it to a stream. Hey, what's up, Steffels? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see ya. Welcome to the MTG Goldfish. I mean, it's got to be hoof, right? Not even close. Yeah, let's take hoof. So stuff we're looking for. Upheaval, Opposition, and maybe Mana Dorks, probably. This is interesting. Richard swears by Mosswood Dread Knight. I have no idea how good this is in Cube, or if we should splash for it, but it is repeatable card advantage. Once Upon a Time is also very good. Yeah, I think Escape is also good, yeah. Almost said Escape instead of Escape. You know what, let's take Once Upon a Time. I think that's fine. Wow, Wheel of Fortune returns? Well, this is interesting. What are the chances that Narset comes back around? We know there was a Narset in the next pack. Narset Wheel is a combo strong enough to make me splash Wheel of Fortune. I don't really like Lotus Petal. Yeah, no one took the Strix. You know, I'm just gonna take this wheel on spec. There's nothing obviously good for a deck. All right, so we did not get lucky enough to get back the Narset too. I don't really like Lotus Petal unless I'm like storming or something. What does this do? Delay Blast Fireball, 2 damage to each creature. Opponent each creature they control. If it's cast from exile, 5 to each. I mean, Mutavault's fine. We're in kind of a weird spot here. Mutavault's fine though. Scavenging Ooze is like okay. Scavenging Ooze is good against mono red. It's good against Reanimator. Could also just take Overgrown Tomb in case we want to splash black. I don't know if we're actually playing this wheel. Probably unlikely. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, we'll take... Whoa. Moto's so weird right now. Did you see that? Oh, I have to just take my... my hands away from the keyboard because it is doing very random things. Like, I clicked on one thing and then it gave us the thing next to it. Definitely did not want Avacid. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like if you double click a card, it switches to another card, which is so strange. It's never used to do that. Well, now we have an Avacyn. Maybe we want an Avacyn. Been a long time since I played. Is there any vintage cube equivalent on Arena? Sort of. So they do cubes on Arena that are like, that are kind of like Arena vintage cubes. The problem is they don't really have all the vintage cards, so you're not going to get the Power 9 and a lot of the most busted stuff. But there are cubes that have the most busted stuff that exists on Arena. All right. Well, we'll take Vial Smasher. We'll take a Copperline George. We'll add it to the deck for now. Let's just splash our Wheel of Fortune. How long will I be streaming for? A draft or two. I probably got to be done by like 4 at the latest. Ish. Maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock. So, couple hours, 2-3 hours. All right, what do we get here? Wow. Okay, literally the strongest card in the entire cube. What should we pick here, chat? What should we pick here? Honestly, Black Lotus, Moxen. I think Sol Ring is actually the strongest card in the cube. I think it's better than Black Lotus. It's not quite as explosive, but it's so consistent. Like, I don't think there's any way not to take Sol Ring here. I would like Garruk. Garruk is very good in some sort of ramp deck. I like Ignoble Hierarch because I think Mana Dorks are probably good in this deck, but there's just no way we can pass up the power of Sol Ring. Sol Ring is so incredibly strong. Can we successfully, it's even Old Border, can we successfully pick it? Yes. We're kind of missing payoffs, though. This is very awkward because, like, right now, so we have Crater Hoof, but we have almost no creatures. We have some ramp, but only Crater Hoof, which isn't very good right now to ramp into. No upheavals, no oppositions, none of that kind of stuff. Uro is very good. Timeless. Timeless has reminded me just how busted Uro actually is. Uro is just a ridiculous card. Sigurd Elder is also good. Ameribrit for the 5-month resub. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. I like Archon of Cruelty. I think it's one of the best Reanimator finishers, but we're so far away from those colors. Probably just take the Uro. Ledger Shredder is also very good. And I do like Steve. Sigurd Elder is actually like a very good card, but Uro's busted. Uro's straight up busted. So how was everyone's holiday? Ooh, my God, that's a Primeval Titan. Well, I mean, sure. Oh, there's also, I wonder if anyone even takes Astral Dragon. Astral Dragon is just one of my, this might be my favorite card. Was it made last year? I was going to say designed last year. It might be 2 years now. Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. So I guess it's 2 years ago. It's just such a fun design. It is literally one of my, it's such a cool, fun design. I don't think it's as good as Primeval Titan. Also, Green God. Green God seems fine in some sort of stompy deck. Boseiju is just a good card. But I mean, I think it's clearly Primeval Titan. If Astral Dragon returns, we might try to snap it off. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so now we get Azeka's Chariot, another powerful card to ramp into. Remand is fine. There could be some shenanigans with Crucible if we can find like Strip Mine to tutor up with Primeval Titan and then Crucible lock. The Green God probably comes back. Phyrexian Revoker is also very good. There's a lot. This shuts down Moxen and so forth. Yeah, I think it's either Remand or Chariot. Chariot gives us bodies for Hoof, which is nice. Remand keeps us alive. This deck does not have much defense so far. Yeah, I guess we have a Loam in the sideboard. All right, we'll just take the Remand. I'm not sure if Remand or Chariot's better there. It's very close. Hey, what's up, Snago? I hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. Yeah, Christmas was good so far. We definitely need more bodies for Hoof to work. So right now, I mean, we have Green Mox too, which is nice. This deck can definitely get hands. Let's put this wheel to the sideboard for now. We can definitely get hands that drop like a turn 2 Nissa or something, which is kind of ridiculous. Lucid! Yes, it's a cube stream, Lucid, your favorite. Welcome back to the Fishbowl for the 44th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Thank ya. Yeah, if you have a Moto account, I was saying this earlier, they gave everyone a free cube, each account created before, I think, December 12th or something. So as long as you didn't just make the account, free cube. Oh my God, that's natural order. This is another card that Timeless has reminded me just how ridiculously busted the card actually is. I mean, I think we have to take this. We have a Prime Time. We have a Crater Hoof. And then just really focus on snagging Mana Dorks. Like, this is by far the highest upside card, right, for our deck. What else are even, like, a Botanical Sanctum, I guess? Like a Fast Land? Exploration, I don't know if we'd even play. Entomb is really good, but I don't think we're an Entomb deck. Yeah, I think it's definitely natural order. Okay. Oh, Gruff Triplets. I have a soft spot for Gruff Triplets. But I don't know if we can take it over Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra, we would love to just fill out the bottom of this curve with Mana Dorks for the sake of natural order and for Crater Hoof. Hey, Merry Christmas, Raging Goblin. Good to see ya. Yeah, Triplets is sweet, but we already have Prime Time and Crater Hoof. Like, we have natural order. What are the odds that we ever take Gruff Triplets over those two? I guess literally very low, right? Maybe not zero, but not high. I think we just really need early drop bodies to turn on our other synergies. Ooh. Omnath. Is there any way we can make the mana work? We got a Lotus Cobra. We have 1 fetch land. I mean, Omnath is the strongest card in the pack. Hexdrinker can actually just jank out wins sometimes. Sometimes your opponent just can't kill it and you dump all your mana into it. Are we a snake deck? We might actually be a snake deck. Omnath would be the greedy pick. Omnath would be super greedy. Hey, how are you, Lucid? Hopefully you're having a wonder. All right, we'll take it. Everyone likes Hexdrinker. I didn't realize Hexdrinker had so many dedicated fans. But, I mean, it is a good card. I wonder, why has Hexdrinker not caught on in 60 card formats? All right, we got a reader. Court of Garenbrig, 3-mana enchantment. When it ETBs, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, distribute 2+1/+1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. Then if you're the monarch, double the number of counters on each creature you control. I like becoming the monarch. That's good. I've never actually played with this card. I didn't know it was on Moto, actually. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. We do. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Okay. Very good news. There's very good news. Very good news is it seems like our green ramp archetype is pretty open because we got Garruk and Ignoble Hierarch back. The question is, which of these cards do we take? It might actually be Ignoble Hierarch. I love Garruk, but Ignoble Hierarch might actually just be better here. Oh, it hurts to pass Garruk in this deck, but we really need the Mana Dorks. Ooh, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. The Steve came back too. We almost were going to pick this. Before the pack wheeled 8 picks ago. We were very close to taking the Secure Tribe Elder. The Zatora's Proving Grounds would be fine, but I think it's gotta be Secure Tribe Elder. What do we think of O'Hare Kaslam, the Green God? When it deals combat damage, reveal that many cards from the top of your library, put a creature and or land from among them. It might actually be worth it. What else are we? You know what? Let's try it. I don't know if it makes the final deck or not, but like hitting our opponent with this and then putting a Prime Time into play actually seems kind of sweet. Are you going to brainstorm properly with just 1 fetch? Probably not, but we might get more fetches or ways to shovel. Let's just take this Islet, take the Botanical Sanctum. That's actually a nice late pickup. The Gruff Triplets came back around. Wow, green ramp is like incredibly open. All right. Come on, something big. How about let's take a Time Walk. I think Time Walk or Ancestral is what I want the most. Yeah, we got everything back we could have wanted. Wow, another Mox. Oh no! Oh, all the good cards. All the good cards. Oh, this pack is too good for us. Oh, okay, so there's a Mox. Obviously, Moxen are busted. There's Raphalos, which is like Manadork on steroids. There's 2 more Manadorks, which we also want. And there's Upheaval, which is one of my favorite cards and perfect for a Simic Ramp archetype. There's also Emrakul, which, that's so much mana. Even with our Soul Ring. Do we just have to take the Mox? What about Upheaval, though? But Upheaval. I love Upheaval. Upheaval is like one of my favorite cube cards. It's so hard. Okay. I can't pass a Mox for it. As much as I love Upheaval, literally one of my favorite cube cards. How do you pass a Mox? You can't pass a Mox. Upheaval might wheel. It's possible. People do not have a respect for Upheaval anymore. These Zoomers, these arena Zoomers do not respect Upheaval. Hey, what's up, Bunham? How are you? Good to see you. What are we taking here? Cityscape Leveler would be good, although it's awkward that it doesn't work with Natural Order. Kogla is actually maybe underrated. Like, blowing up artifacts and enchantments are good. It works like removal. Kogla may actually be... They need to add Upheaval to Arita. There's actually probably an argument for miscalculation. Although there also might be an argument to just cutting blue. Yoda Man! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your... Dak is actually really good. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Alright, I think we're going to take the miscalculation. I'm a little worried about us just being super light on any interaction. What does this do? It's in our colors. Sail into the West, 4 mana instant. Starting with you, each player votes for Return or Embark. If Return gets more votes, each player returns up to 2 cards from the graveyard to their hand, then exile it. If Embark gets more vote, or if it's tied, each player may discard their hand and draw 7. Is that worth it? Do we want a wheel? We don't really have a payoff for a wheel. Yeah, maybe if we're going to wheel, I guess Time Spiral is probably better. This pack is not great for us, although I do like Palantir. Palantir's just draw a card every turn. Like, very quickly becomes just draw a card every turn. You know what? Let's take Palantir, I think. Okay. Zoran Orb combos with Fast Bond and like a Crucible effect. Sylvan Library gives us more card advantage, although we're playing a 20 life format, not as good as it is in Commander. Oh, I really want another Manadork. We're gonna get at least 1 Manadork back, right? We got to. Hey, what's up, G Fuel Cold? How are you? What do we take here? What's the stupid instant speed land bounce? Is it in the format? Oh, Capsize? You might be thinking Capsize. Liberator is good. The problem with Bring to Light is we're gonna have a hard time getting it past 3, which means it's probably not gonna be very good. Yeah, I think we do just need bodies, and Liberator is not bad. Treachery is really good. I mean, if we're gonna stay in blue, Treachery is kind of a bomb. That's removal that's free and it gives us the creature. Wow, gift subs for days. I think we take Treachery here. Makaris handing out 10 gift subs to W Manhouse, Mega Sensei Ultra, MRVP, Yacht King, Unshaven Drake, Blattergull, the Pure One True Mood, the Juice Caboose, J Spice, and Unrivaled. Welcome you all to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Oh, you think Nemesis is better? Better than Treachery? All right, we can try Nemesis. It is a body. I do like that it's a body. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, Makaris. Thank you for all the gift subs. Oh, Fractured Identity. Ooh, also Time Warp. Fractured Identity is such a also a fun card. That's another one of my like favorite cube cards. I don't know if taking True Name over I think Treachery might just be better. I mean, Trop is good. Displacer Kitten's actually kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. What do we blink with it? Gruff Triplets? I mean, Trop is, yeah, all right. Let's take Trop. Trop does just, like, improve our deck. It does improve the deck. Video idea. You make a deck that are... Video idea. You make decks that were good in popular non-rotating formats. The restriction is that all the cards from the tier version of the deck are forbidden in the remade deck while keeping the spirit of the deck, except for lands. Would be interesting to watch because it allows one to see if there are other great but overlooked cards. Oh, that could actually be cool. Questing Beast for the Fog meta. I mean, we do need to be prepared for the Fog meta. Actually, Questing Beast is just a good card. Our goal of getting more creatures has kind of worked. Ooh. Huh. Well. The Forest Hermit adds a lot of bodies to the battlefield. It is good with Natural Order and with Craterhoof. Underground Sea, we're not really splashing black. There's also just Ugin. And Ugin is just kind of, if we can cast it, is very busted. We do have a decent amount of ramp. Do we just take Ugin? I mean, Mightstone and Weakstone is good too, but I feel like if we're gonna take Mightstone, Rafellos. So one of the Mana Dorks is gone. The Llanowar Elves is gone. Whoever took it though can't be playing that heavy green because Rafellos is just better if you're playing heavy green. Well, we're gonna take Rafellos. We gotta take Rafellos. Wow, we got the Kogla back too. Okay. Take the Kogla. The Dig Through Time comes back. Also, the Sail into the West comes back. Is there any way we're mono green? Is it possible that we're mono green? All right, let's try Sail. I don't know if it makes the end version of the deck, but we have gotten a lot of really good cards late in these packs. Let's take Thassa's Oracle so no one else has it. Maybe we draw enough cards to win with it fairly. The Rex Sage comes back. Wow, also Grist. If we could easily splash Grist, I'd take Grist, but... Wow. Okay, this deck is actually kind of interesting. You have no interaction in mono green. That is true. But do we even need interaction? What would mono green look like? How janky is it if we take out the blue? I feel like we're going to have the right number of cards. Close to it. So this would be mono green. 2 Moxid. We'd have to have one more of something. I mean, we could be mono green. Ooh, mono green Valakut sounds sweet. Yeah, I mean, the best removal is player removal, right? We can splash a little bit of blue. So we have Misty Rainforest. And we have Tropical Island. So splashing a bit of blue and the Botanical Sanctum, honestly. We also, so the other reason to consider minimizing or cutting blue is it also helps power up Rafellos. So even if we splash a little bit of blue, I think we want to be mostly green because the more forest we have, the better Rafellos is, the better Nissa is. Yeah, Uro seems like a good addition. I'm almost wondering if we want to... So double blue might be tricky. Like, maybe we don't play the true name and just stick with, like, single blue. Ugin overrated. Oh, Ugin's kind of busted, though. I like Palantir a lot. Maybe it's too slow. We'll see. Free Jazz and M. Lawrence. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Thank you for an awesome 2023 Free Jazz. Y'all are awesome. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big Soup Jeffrey. Thank you. So what are our worst green cards? Are there any green cards that we really shouldn't have in the deck? We also have Sakura Tribe Elder. So we can play one island and get away with it. We have Lotus Cobra. So we can play a little bit of blue. I think, and get away with it. We have a new donation from Megacarp. $2 donation. Showed up early to my shift. I don't start for an hour, LOL. I send you an MLD video of me brutalizing someone in a historic brawl, and a quick Merry Christmas from me and my cat. I hope you get to check it out soon. Thanks for having me around. Love you, Seth. Well, Magikarp, good luck at the job, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your kitten. Hey, Cease, come here. Cease. Speaking of kittens, Cease, come say hi. People want to see you. How are we building this deck? Also, check this out. Sneak peek. I'm not done with it yet, but I've been working on one of my holiday projects while I have a little bit of time, is trying to do my office. Look at this. I think it's going to look way better. All right, we got to put the green screen down for a minute. Where are you, Cease? There you are. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Boom. Ha-ha! It looks different. And there's a cat. Come here, cat. Kitty. Come here, Cease. Cease, come here. It's okay. Come here. Come here, Cease. Oh, here you go. Here. There you go. Say hi to people. Hey, can you say hi to everyone? Yeah. Say hi. Say hello. Yeah, there you are. Can you say Merry Christmas? Happy Holidays? Yeah. All right, you can go do cat stuff. That's it. That's all. Well, there's the daily Cease. Green screen returns. Yeah, I think it'll look better. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I like the white shelves too. Is that a FMA? Wait, what is FMA? I don't know what FMA is, so probably not an FMA poster. Let's add in Tamiyo, Miscalc, maybe Remand. That might work. I think we need to make one cut. Oh, no. It's a uncut sheet, I think. The 42016 Niners. Isn't an X-Men? Always an X-Men. Welcome to Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop for you. Thank you. Cut Palantir. I like Palantir, though. I like it. It's just draw a card every turn. Is drawing a card every turn not worth it? Is it too slow? We need to cut one card, chat. What is our one cut? Also, are we playing Mutavault? We need mostly forests. Something like this. 14, 15, 16. We definitely need one more. We need one more land. Court makes us a monarch. At the beginning of our upkeep, we put 2 counters on up to 2 things. And then if we're a monarch, we double the number of counters. So for the monarch, we get 4 counters a turn. It's mostly for being the monarch. I think that's the big upside, is being the monarch. It is a cool card. People seem very high on it. I haven't got to play with it yet, so I'm not sure how good it actually is. So I think this stays. Miscalc, Remand, I think are going to stay. What about Tamiyo? Do we actually want Tamiyo? Is Tamiyo worth it? I guess it stops us from getting annihilated, which is cute. Tamiyo fuels Uro. That is true. Well, right now we only have... So, we have 41 cards. 41 cards in 15 lands. So, with the Moxen counted as lands, we have 17 lands. We do have some mana dorks. We could cut Gruff, but it would be kind of sweet to win a Vintage Cube game with Gruff. That's kind of a sweet challenge. I guess we could run this. What about the 41 card special? We could just play 41 17. I think I lean towards cutting Tamio if I'm gonna cut something. Yeah, I feel like Tamio is a value card that doesn't offer that much value. Oh, the brown Prouster with a one-eye dude. No, that's something that an artist friend made. So no, just a random thing. Let's try it like this. So I think the Outland Liberator in Vintage Cube in specific is pretty good, just because a lot of the most powerful cards are artifacts, right? You have, outside of like the Power 9, Moxen and so forth, Soul Rings, you have a Winter Orbs and Mirari's Way. There's a lot of very powerful artifacts and enchantments. So I think in this format in specific, I like the artifact and enchantment destruction. What's the difference between 40 and 41? Just a little bit of consistency. Let's run it like this. Let's just go no Tamio. That was my initial instinct, is just no Tamio, run it like that. So the more cards you add, the less likely you are to draw your biggest bombs, essentially. Wait, did they actually cut Winter Orb and Mirari's Wake? Well, maybe maybe we don't need them anymore. Maybe the artifacts and enchantments are not that good. Ooh, what budget commander are you building around, Doug? Or is it just about kind of from a meta perspective, like how to build budget decks? I main deck ran Trigon Predator. Every once in a while, I'm like sorting through random Magic cards or a collection, and I see Trigon Predator, and it's always my instinct to pull it out and put it with like the good cards that I want to set aside. And then I stop and think about it. I'm like, no one plays it anymore. Like there was a time when Trigon Predator was like a legit card. People played that in Legacy. That was like a Legacy card at one point. It was like a cube all-star, like a very high picking cube. Just 2/3 flying, hit you, blow up an artifact or a jab it. I don't know why. Is it just too slow now? I guess it's like, it's the old school kind of good. It's the kind of good where it needs to stick for a turn. It's not going to do anything crazy right away. It's only 2 damage a turn. So I think it's kind of like good in the 2013 sense or whatever, but maybe just doesn't stand up to the current snowbally power level. Yes, we will play first. Well, you know what? I think we try this. This looks like potentially turn 3 Primeval Titan. Turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2 Rathalos. Turn 3 Primetime. Seems good enough. I don't know what we're doing with the Primetime. Getting just random lands, deck thinning, planes for our opponent, and Once Upon a Time. Well, let's just. Are we gonna get Mana Tithe? We're not gonna get Mana Tithe. Actually, let me think about this. Is Sakura Tribe Elder Once Upon a Time better than Rathalos? Like, if our opponent has a swords or something, maybe that. No Mana Tithe! What did they do to Vintage Cube? No Mana Tithe, no Winter Orb? Watsy. You're cutting all my favorite. What about Panharmonicon? Is there a Panharmonicon? Did they replace the Mana Tithe with a Panharmonicon? That we might be having a conversation. I think this is actually better, oddly. I think we place a Sakura Tribe Elder and play Once Upon a Time and take a Outland Liberator past the turn. So this still gets us to Primetime next turn. Maybe. Just a Talisman? Okay, sure. Well, crack Sakura Tribe grab an island. I mean, we're going to go for it. They could have Force of Will. That is possible. Ooh, there's the green god. Well, 6 manas. Casual Primeval Titan. Who resolves? Okay. Grab a Misty Rainforest and a... let's just get a forest. Misty Rainforest and Forest for Raffello's purposes. Pass the turn. We're off to a good start. Hey, what's up, Duga buddy? How are you? I mean, Reprieve makes sense. Although Mana Tithe is a better gotcha. Reprieve doesn't feel as good. Wow, look at all these random mana rocks. Thankfully, Primeval Titan is not legendary, although the silly god is. Opponent has Palantir. I mean, we're definitely gonna mill. What's the worst that can happen? Watch them set up like Emrakul plus something and we just die here. Wait. Oh, did I click the wrong one? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We wanted our opponent to draw that card. Well, let's get him with Primeval Titan. Remand's not bad. I don't mind the remand. Primeval Titan. Botanical Sanctum. Forest. Hit you for 6. And Outland Liberator. And Raffellos. And I guess we just crack this now. They could have like even Mind Sensor or something. Yeah, Liberator's good. We can kill the Palantir if we need to. All right, your go, opponent. How are your holidays, Duka buddy? Opponent going to bounce our Raffellos. Yes, Crocus is going to be annoying. She actually shuts down Raffellos and O'Hare pretty well. Opponent, Saheeli. I don't think we really care about Saheeli. Not enough to remand it, at least. Ooh, they're tapping the Crocus. And a Karn. That might be remandable, actually. That's going to make a big token. Big enough, yeah, let's remand it. And then I think we just blow up this Palantir. Well, go Primeval Titan. We're going to thin all the lands out of our deck pretty quickly. Yeah, there's no way they can let Crocus in Commander. Like, I don't know if Crocus would be too good in Commander, but it would be too miserable for sure. Well, let's just kill the Saheeli to make sure. Primeval Titan. Forest. Island. I mean, we're going to have all the lands out of our deck here shortly. So, kill the Saheeli. Reclamation Sage. Blow up the Talisman. Palantir. Raffellos. Go. All right. Yeah, I mean, make your choice, opponent. Make your choice. Oh! All right, opponent. Milzakagla down to 8. Questing Beast on top. Variant for the 79th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip, thank you. They used to have Crocus in Commander, but they made it so it can't target commanders. I'm actually surprised that's not a card that they've printed yet. Doesn't that seem like an easy like Modern Horizon style card? Like Crocus, but it doesn't target commanders, or maybe like Commander Legends, but I'm actually very surprised. I think that Crocus that can't target commanders, perfectly fine card. I think the annoyance of it is the fact that it can just repeatedly shut down a commander, like, and the opportunity cost is like so low. It's an untapped land. The opportunity cost is so low. Well, is our opponent dead? We draw Questing Beast. We play Questing Beast. We go to combat. We attack our opponent. We attack our opponent. I guess we attack our opponent. Thin the deck. Almost out of lands. I think our opponent has to block the Questing Beast. Okay, blocks and blocks. Sure. Goes to 2. Well, Rafellos. And O'Hare. And we know we're drawing. There's no way they're milling. All right. Bottom and top. How about how about an Ugin? Hey, what's up, Skylar? How are you? Christmas was it was really good. Good to catch up with a bunch of family, see people I don't get to see that often, so it was fun. How about for you? But what about Planeswalker Commanders? I just bounce mine back to my hand before I kill my Planeswalker Commander. Wait, I'm confused. All right, opponent's gonna go card draw mode. You can have the Colonnade. And opponent scoops it up, and that went pretty well. I mean, Ugin there just like the lightning bolt mode. Ghostfire the face for lethal. McCary for the 71st month. Are we actually in a bubble with having 3 rotation, or is WotC the out of touch ones? Who? Are we in a bubble with hating 3-year rotation? I mean, I think the correct take, and welcome back to the Fishbowl, McCary. I think the correct take is it's really too early to know. I think that, so what I feel strongly about with 3-year rotation is announcing it at a time when Standard was like pretty rough and everyone on bannings was waiting for rotation. Like, I think that was a mistake. I personally don't know if I buy the idea that more cards means more diversity. I hope that that's true. I'm not sure that that's actually true. But at this point, like, I would say Standard right now is pretty good. But Standard right now was also not made to be a 3-year format. So I think it's more of like a happy accident than anything where, like, even though Standard's decent right now, it's not like they designed it to be decent. It just kind of ended up being decent at random because they didn't know when they were making like Lost Caverns of Ixalan or Wilds of Eldraine that there was not going to be a rotation this year. So I kind of think it was just an accident, but I don't know. I'm trying to remain hopeful that it will. Wow, this hand is as bad as a hand can be. I'm trying to remain hopeful that it will end up being a positive in the end. Well, we're gonna put our one piece of interaction. Actually, do we? We could put the Lotus Cobra to the bottom. Oh, we can also just play it on turn 2, turn 1. Wait, turn 1 Lotus Cobra, turn 2 Questing Beast? Yeah, it seems better than Miscalculation. Wait, can we put a land to the bottom? How greedy is that? I mean, if we're miscalculating, huh? What do we put to the bottom, though? This hand's good. So we're keeping all these. The question is, do we put a land to the bottom or the miscalc? Land to the bottom's a greedy choice. I guess we can always cycle the miscalc. You know what? Let's try it. Actually, though. Yeah, I guess it's got to be the force. All right, let's try it. A little greedy, but we'll give it a go. Opponent, Island. And passes. Well, we will play a forest, play a Mox, play a Lotus Cobra, pass the turn. Primetime's good if we can get to it. Island for opponent, and Mana Rock. Oh, that's also Soul Ring. Well, in that case, let's play an island, make a green, play Soul Ring, play Questing Beast. 6 ya. We're off to a pretty fast start. Opponent. Down to 14. We do need another land. Oh, Karakas can bounce Questing Beast. That's it. As Karakas is very annoying. Saheeli. Come on, land. That is a land right on time. So go to combat. Opponent's going to bounce Questing Beast. We will hit the Saheeli. So play the forest. Make a green. Play Primeval Titan. Misty. Botanical Sanctum. And pass the turn. Your go, Saheeli, your go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've never seen lands that level up, right? Like, imagine Urza Saga. Instead of automatically going through the chapters, you have to pay mana to get to each mode, but it sticks around. Nothing like that currently exists. No, I don't think anything like that actually currently exists. Oh, Mentor. And a Mox. Well, I mean, this is a little scary. Every non-creature our opponent casts makes multiple tokens now. I mean, they only have 2 cards in hand. Talisman. All right, so opponent's just making tokens. You know what a good draw would be? How about a Craterhoof? Craterhoof would put an end to all of these shenanigans. Opponent passes. Hoof. How about a hoof? How about a hoof? How about a hoof? Once upon a time. How much mana do we have? 1? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So not enough to once upon a time and hoof. All right, so I think what we do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Questing Beast. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Hopefully they don't have an instant of some kind. Primeval Titan. Forest and forest. Now we can once upon a time off of the Primeval Titan mana during combat. Once upon a time. Ooh. No, Botanical Sanctum's just the fast land. So the question is, do we just take Hoof for next turn? All right, we'll take Hoof for next turn. I think there's some argument to just taking Uro, although we're not very close to getting Uro back. How about a Karakas, but it can't bounce legendary creature commanders, but it can bounce planeswalker commanders? Would that be too busted? I don't think that would be too busted, but it might be too clunky. Like the wording might be too clunky. Well, all right, let's see if we live. Opponent's only got 1 card in hand. We definitely have lethal next turn. They can bounce the Questing Beast. Okay. Opponent. Time Twister. Well, I mean, we might as well miscalc it, right? Opponent can pay, but this taps them out. So it's going to be hard to do anything with the mana. Do we thin the deck? Probably. And whatever. All right. Sure. Time Twister. New hands all around. I mean, opponent's just trying to win here. The question is, when do we counter? It's probably the Mox. I think we counter the Mox. Misty. Crackit. Tropical Island. Like, our opponent, I think they know they have to win. Or feel like they have to win. I think we counter the Mox just to keep them from having more mana to cast more spells. So let's miscalc again. About it. Oh, okay. Okay. Combat. I mean, they don't know that we can just get the hoof still. We still have the natural order, opponent. How much do you attack? Hey, what's up, Clarissa? It's been very good holiday. How was your holiday been? Opponent, getting in for 4. Gonna try to play defense. It is not going to work. Opponent passes. Well, we will play a Mox. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they could have a counter. It is possible. What's the safest way to do this? Return target non-commander, non-legendary permanent to its owner's hand. That would work, but it wouldn't let you return commanders that are planeswalkers, right? That's kind of that's the hard part to add in. Like, to be able to bounce planeswalkers into your commanders but not creatures, that's where it gets a little wordy. Although I guess it's kind of fine. All right, let's just, I mean, we got to try to win here. So we will play Outland Liberator. One, two, three, 4. Natural order Outland Liberator. Grab a Craterhoof Behemoth. Trample up the crew and opponent. Dun dun dun. The deck worked pretty well there. It worked surprisingly well there. Yeah, I mean, they only had 1 mana, so there's not much they could do about it. I mean, would you want a Karakas formatted for Commander, though? Would it still be too annoying? So I guess the other hand, so Karakas, my initial thought would be a Karakas that didn't hit commanders would be fine. However, a lot of creatures are legendary now. Do you think it would still be too annoying? Or is that like a good, fair style of removal for commander? Maybe it'd be healthy. I mean, Maze of Ith doesn't really see that much play anymore, right? Lands that can be removal are powerful. I'd love a Karakas period, but then again, my favorite deck is Gaddock Teeg. Yeah, I can see that. If you're a Gaddock Teeg player, you probably be in favor of Karakas. That's the other thing, is it can also be used to save your own commander, which maybe that's also too good. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep this. Sand is very interesting with only 1 land, but we actually have a lot of mana. We can like Mox, Soul Ring, Sakura Tribe Elder, or we could leave up Remand. So, well, play Mox. Play Botanical Sanctum. Play Soul Ring. Play, yeah, we just gotta run out. Sakura Tribe Elder. Play Sakura Tribe Elder. And your go, opponent. That's all we got. That's all we got on turn 1. Caracas has said you control would be fair. Then it's just wow, just a triome. Then it's just a way to protect your own creatures, right? Well, let's crack this, get a forest. Draw a forest. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we just Questing Beast. Turn 2 Questing Beast seems Woo! That technically a turn 2 win. Maybe our deck's actually kind of good. Fog meta. We have overcome the fog meta. I mean, we don't even know what our opponent's doing. We saw a triome. We'll just run it back. Well, that was an easy one. Oh, boy. If our opponent didn't like that, I don't know how they're going to feel about a natural order hand. Plains for our... We don't have the fast mana, though. This is a much fairer hand than the last one, because we don't have all the fast mana. Botanicals egged up. Yo. Hey, Merry Christmas, My Fish is Bad. Thank you for watching the content this year. Luminarch Aspirant. All right, opponent's playing some good, clean, fair Magic. They're playing Standard over there. My Fish is Bad. Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 31st month. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank ya. This is kind of an interesting turn. Do we leave a free man? Do we... we probably get a Steve, right? Yeah, let's Secure Tribe Elder. Secure Tribe Elder block and sack is pretty good. Hopefully they play like an equipment or something that we can Rexage. That'd be the best. I'd rather they print a Gaia's Cradle plus Cabal Coffers hybrid. 2 tap to add mana equal to the number of creatures you control. Yeah, that would be another interesting design. Although, like... Hey, that actually works. That actually... put the counter on that. Put the counter on that. Grow that angel. Steel Seraph is white. Thank you. Thank you, Moto. Oh, this worked out about as good as it could. Our opponent actually played a Rexage target. And they put the counter on the Rexage target. So we take our beats. Yeah. Sure. Do we even sack the Steve? I mean, I guess we still do. All right, sack the Secure Tribe Elder. Grab a forest. Untap. Play the land. Rexage. Get rid of the angel. And pass the turn. So we're what? Natural ordering up. Are we actually getting Gruff triplets? Oh no, what was the pun? What's your solution for Caracas Mega Magikarp? About it. Luminarch Aspirant grows. Gets and hits us. Sure. Yeah, they gave it flying with the angel, so we couldn't block with the Steve, unfortunately. Ooh. Deep Cavern Bat's actually big here. That means we don't get to natural order this turn. And maybe forever, because it's not like we can kill this bats. Interesting. This took a turn. Opponent takes a natural order. Well, I guess we want to land for the god then? Well, okay. Actually, let's attack first. Let's get in with the Rexage. See if our opponent blocks with the bats for some reason. Get in. Hit ya. How about a land with 3 tap? Return target legendary creature that isn't a commander to its owner's hand. Ability costs 1 less to activate for each opponent. Ooh. Yeah, that would work. Although, I don't think... would Caracas be a problem in, like, Modern? I don't think so, right? So maybe you wouldn't even have to give it the sneaky commander wording, because Maybe it's just an okay card, like outside of Commander. Maybe the concern is only Commander. I kind of feel like it's a pretty fair effect in other. Wow, that was one of the. Okay, I don't know what our opponent's trying to do. Black, white, fair stuff, but apparently you play a single Ogre Chasm and your opponent's just done. Oh, would answer Ragavad. I mean, I think that's fine. I think that's probably fair to have more Ragavad answers. Maybe it needs to be reworded to say any permanent. No, then you'd bounce your own One Ring. That would be bad. At first that sounded like a good. I was thinking, oh, you could bounce your opponent's One Ring, but then you could bounce your own One Ring. Yeah, apparently the Green God's actually like decent. Yeah, so far 2020, going for the treasure chest here. We've done a very good job of drawing our Soul Rings. I'll give our deck credit for that. I mean, I think we keep this. All right, opponent. All right, Triome passes. Well, Forest and Soul Ringu. No, it'd probably have to be non-land. I mean, it would still have to be legendary, right? Getting Leyline Binding? No. Well, Tropical Island. Uro. Could leave up the miscalculation, but I think this is probably better. Because this, in theory, gets us to Primeval Titan next turn. Why? I mean, okay, but why? Thank you, I guess. But why Swords it? It was being escaped anyway. I mean, we'll take it, but... Well, opponent definitely invested heavily in their mana base. That's for sure. Yeah, I feel like our last opponent... I guess we don't know their deck or their hand, but... Felt like pretty aggressive scoops to me as well. Our opponent might regret firing off that sword so early. We were not close to getting back the Uro. Like, if this primetime sticks, that's so bad for them. Raphalos. Well, we gotta go for it. They could have a force or something, but we can't not run out the Primeval Titan. Whew, Resolves. Misty. And Botanical Sanctum. Swords out of our opponent's hand. Ugin potentially coming down next turn. And we got the miscalculation if something goes wrong. Opponent. Can you beat a Primeval Titan? Augur of Autumn, okay, sure. That does not beat a Primeval Titan. Nice little synergy. I see a little synergy. See what's on top of the deck, sack it to change it, get back the fetch land. Our opponent does have a cute little synergy going on. Unfortunately for our opponent, we don't need cute little synergies. We just have Ugins. We just have Ugins going on. Debate Bro! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, okay. We will untap and draw Lotus Cobra. Do we go face? Do we go red? Yeah, the -3 on Ugin's going to be very good. Let's go to combat. I guess we just go face. Ugin can sweep everything up anyway. Sure, we will grab some more forests. Primeval Titan has been ridiculous this draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we don't even need to crack our fetch yet. All right. We can pay for the mana tithe. That is apparently not in the cube anymore. How about an Ugin? Opponent, are we still playing Magic? Are we still playing? Whew. How about 1, 2, and 3? And your turn, opponent. Your turn. Wow, this deck's been brutal. This deck has been brutal. Soul Ring is a. Why do they leave Soul Ring in Commander? Just like Timeless has reminded me how busted some of these old cards are. I mean, this is a testament to just how ridiculous Soul Ring is, right? Why is this the card that can never be talked about in the Commander format as far as bannings or power level? Well, we will untap and draw. Rex Sage. We can just -3 again. I think we actually will. Actually, do we even care? What are they going to do? Chump block? We could also start bolting our opponent's face. Yeah, I think we actually tick up. Actually, let's attack first. Let's go to combat. Get in with Primeval Titan. This turn, we definitely want to leave up Miscalc. It could be relevant. But Soul Ring is fair and balanced magic card. They can always change Soul Ring for alchemy to make it cost more. What would be the fair cost of Soul Ring? 3? 3 would actually probably be too good still, right? 3 would be untapped Worn Power Stone. 4, obviously not good enough, because then you're Hedron Archive. And Hedron Archive has other upsides. 2 would still be pretty ridiculous. Opponent goes to 5. Well, we will bolt your face. Play Rathalos. Play Lotus Cobra. Pass the turn. Opponent's at 2. If I open Soul Ring or Black Lotus, pack 1, pick 1 Vintage Cube, I take Soul Ring. Yeah, I think Soul Ring is more powerful than Black Lotus. I think it would be in Commander as well. Like, pure power level in Commander and opponent. Man, maybe we accidentally drafted a pretty busted deck. Our opponents are not lasting long against this one. Worn Power Stone is one of those cards that, like, used to be a staple, but I don't think sees nearly as much play anymore. Worn Power Stone, 3% of decks. Yeah, I remember when I first started playing Commander, like 10 years ago or whatever, this was a card you'd see a lot. Just like 3 mana ramp. But they've printed so many more options in a lot of like the colored mana rocks, like the signpost that messes with attacks, Midnight Clock, the red one, Cursed Mirror. Like there's so many of those options now that Worn Power Stone has pretty much become a colorless card. So if you're playing like a colorless Eldrazi deck, people still play it quite a bit. But outside of that, like, doesn't really see play anymore. I guess we just run it back. I mean, so far so good for this deck, for sure. What do you think would be more powerful in Commander, then? Do you think, what would be more powerful in Commander? Black Lotus or Soul Ring? I think it's actually Soul Ring. How's the holiday week? The holiday weekend was fun. It was good. How about for you, Badger? Ooh, Birds of Paradise. Alpha Birds. I didn't even know we had. Wait. How do we get this Birds of Paradise? Can I buy that? Can I actually play that? I didn't know that was on Moto. Wait a minute. That's like the classic. I didn't know there was any. Oh, is it from Dominaria Remastered? So I guess Dominaria Remastered Retro, it doesn't have the A symbol. They changed the set symbol, so you can't get the A symbol one apparently, but that's pretty close. Retro Dominaria Remastered, I guess, is the closest. Well, this might be a Hex Drinker game. We get to turn 1 Hex Drinker and start leveling it. I guess that's our plan. See if Hex Drinker... Is Hex Drinker good enough? Can Hex Drinker win a game all by itself? Hey, I've always wanted to build a colorless deck, but I feel like all the commanders are the same. Any ideas of what commander to use? I mean, I think in colorless decks, they are kind of a lot are similar. Like if you play any of the big Eldrazi, they all kind of do the same thing, right? You just ramp really hard, play big things. There are some more unique colorless commanders. I think that's something they're just like scratching the surface of. But I think we'll continue to see more unique ones. There's the Augur of Autumn. But if you look at colorless commanders, ones that are actually kind of unique, Surginger, I think is one of the more unique ones. Amarithis is actually kind of cool. It's like colorless +1/+1 counter shenanigans. So that one's pretty neat. Graz, I guess, is still kind of a ramp deck, but it's probably the funniest. Like the Eldrazi are kind of boring. In the sense they're just very overpowered, but like Graz is like similar, but kind of meme-ish instead of just being OP. So I think like if you want to ramp, Graz is the more unique choice. I guess Traxos probably has combo potential. I don't know if you can combo with it colorless though, honestly. It's untap So I think those are some of the more unique ones. Prismatic Piper, if you want to go full on memes. How do you build a Traxos? I'm curious. How do you build around it, or is it just like a colorless ramp deck for the most part? What do we draw? Ignoble Hierarch. Well, play the land. Play. Let's see. Level up. Is there any argument to just turbo leveling? We could fully level this up next turn. Probably not. All right, let's Ignoble Hierarch. Get in for 5. Unfortunately, we have our hoof in hand. Otherwise, we might just be winning next turn. The natural order is a little worse if we can't get the hoof. Yeah, Little Emrakul is kind of fun. Being able to steal someone's turn. Not fun to play against, but fun to play with. Ooh, wow, the worst 4 Aerolingus. Okay, sure. 4 Aerolingus X1. Opponent is desperate. Oh, this is bad news for our opponent. This is bad news for our opponent. So opponent gets to get in, become the Monarch, but then we're going to steal back. Oh, this is so bad for our opponent. Sure. Like 3 mana, make a hasty 2/2, become the Monarch. Opponent's missing land drops, though. Oh, this might be over. This might be the sweet 3-0 sweep. Ooh, Court of Garenbrig. I mean, I think we gotta do it. We gotta go. Oh, there's too many options. Okay, so we can natural order away Ignoble Hierarch to get Primeval Titan. We can fully level up Hexdrinker and just try to win with that and steal the crown. We can Questing Beast, attack for 8. I guess we could Court of Garenbrig to steal the monarchy that way. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know if I've ever fully leveled up a Hexdrinker in Cube before. Well, yeah, that is a 6/6 pro everything. Get in, hit ya. Steal the crown. Opponent goes to 8. We draw Remand. This one should be over. This one should be. Should they unban Big Emrakul and Commander? The problem with the Big Eldrazi, and the reason I think that keeping it banned might make sense, is that Annihilator only hits one person. Like that's kind of the issue, right? Like the Eldrazi tend to take one person out of the game, which isn't that much fun in a game like Commander, in a multiplayer game like Commander. So that would be my concern. All right, so opponent gonna become the Monarch. Sure. We're 1 point of damage short of just winning here. I guess we can play. I guess we can play the Questing Beast and make our opponent chump to get rid of the Omnath. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play the Questing Beast. We don't really want this to start gaining life. So attack ya. Opponent has to block Questing Beast. So the Omnath's down. And now we also get to leave up Remand. And we get back the Crown. And our opponent drops to 2. And I think we might go undefeated through this draft. Not only have we not lost a round, we haven't dropped a game with this deck. We might have just accidentally built a pretty busted deck here. Trophy in our first cube draft of the season. Been a nice while since I could get to chat while you're going and actually paying attention. How's it going, Seth? Hope it's all been well. Love the content and Holiday Cube is so much fun. Hey, well, what's up, Neil Arnold? How are you? It's going pretty well. Hopefully it's been a good holiday for you as well. How about it? You're done. I think you're done. Our opponents also had some land troubles here. Like they've kind of struggled to hit their land drops, but with this Remand in hand, I'm feeling pretty good. An opponent giving us the GGs. And that is a treasure chest. We actually get a treasure chest, and we got back our play points and a trophy. That is the sweep. We did not drop a single round. Are you gonna do some cons drafts at some point? Maybe. 100% win rate. Well, let's crack up open this treasure chest and then do one more cube draft. That was a quick one. All right, treasure chest 1 of 1. Oh, God. Reason to Believe. This card never did anything. The idea of it's kind of cute that you, like, scry to set up the top of your deck and then cheat something huge into play. In practice, it never actually worked. Twincast. I feel like Twincast is... I guess Twincast, it's much better as a red card than a blue card, right? Blue has so many counter spells that it's harder to find room for this effect. But as a red card, it's actually pretty effective because red doesn't have traditional counter spells. Ooh, how was Reason to Believe in Intent? Did it actually work? Well, let's see if we can keep the good times going. Let's do one more. Let's do one more cube draft. That was a fast and easy one. Well, draft number 2. On the board. Wow, someone already has 14. 2 people already have 14. 14 cube wins. That's a lot of cubing in less than a week. I have no dad. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. What do we get? Pack 1, pick 1. So no power. 1 fetch land. Golos. Yes, we went 3-0-6-0. Drafts are only 3 rounds, but yeah, we went full on 3-0. Golos, yeah, that's the card I keep coming back to just for its fun potential. And it is strong. There's probably some sort of like white black, or maybe mono black Gix deck that could be interesting. Like just all the black disruption, all the cheap black creatures. Probably not as much fun as the Golos deck. Daze is fine. I mean, blue is OP. Yeah, we already noble higher class draft. I kind of want to not be the same deck again. So I want to try to, I mean, if we end up there, I guess we end up there, but I would rather not be another green mana dork deck since we just did a green mana dork deck. Let's take the Golos and go from there. Oh, see, I can imagine like Gix, Duthi, Voidwalker. Voidwalker's an absurd card. I kind of still want to take it. I don't know why I got mono black on the mind at the moment. All right, what else? What else could we take here? So Magda, I guess, is kind of interesting. Underground Sea is a good dual land. If we're gonna like try to go 5-color Golos pile, then Underground Sea is good. We don't even have a Storm card here, do we? To force? I wonder if Carnosaur is any good. Carnosaur works with Golos' ability. That's technically true. All right. We'll take it. I don't know exactly what we're doing at this point, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Oh, that's a Reanimate. Well, I mean, we probably got to take Reanimate. Because Reanimate's kind of ridiculous. Even if we're not full on reanimation, like, even reanimating a Golos or a Carnosaur is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, let's take Reanimate, I think. The Imperial Tutor's also solid. There's the Narset Wheel plan that we almost got last draft. Brain of Light will definitely wheel. I don't know if we can take advantage of it. Last draft's Heroes. Questing Beast. Yeah, let's just take Reanimate. Maybe we can be a sweet Reanimate. Oh my god. Doomsday. Is there any way to make this work in Cube? Can you actually build a functional Doomsday pile? Search your library graveyard for 5 cards, exile the rest, put the chosen cards on the top of your... It seems so hard. Yeah, oh, that's right. There is Thoracle in the Cube, right? Well, I mean, I think we got to take Animate Dead. We just got the top 2 reanimation effects in the entire Cube. So we have a direction. Oh my god, and that's... Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Whew. Well, that is a Sundering Titan, which is actually, like, kind of a ridiculous reanimation target. One of the best. There's also Recurring Nightmare. They just keep flowing around the table. I feel like Duretti comes back. I don't feel like people value Duretti. Hey, what's up, Cyber-Kios? How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I think it's either Sundering Titan or Recurring Nightmare. Reign of Filth seems scary. We already have 2 reanimation effects. Do we really need a third? All right, we'll take it. All right. That's it for the reanimation. Oh my god, that's show and tell, though. Okay. Well, I mean, now we probably got to take that. That's a great backup. We're going to have all the ways to... Okay, if we take show and tell, and we have reanimate and doom, like, then we just focus on finding big things... I mean, we got to take it. It's show and tell. How can we not take it? I mean, I think Deep Cavern Bat's also good, and Underworld Breach is kind of busted. But, I mean, we just want big things. I mean, what is the theory for Cube Draft? Do broken things, stop broken things. We're definitely a do broken things deck. So now we're just, I mean, we have all this reanimation. We got the show and tell. We just want the big things to cheat into play, essentially, and ways to find them. That's all we need. Would you have any desire to participate in a Cube for Charity event 48-hour Vintage Cube competition to see which team of MTG content creators can earn the most Vintage Cube trophies? That sounds like a cool... I think we actually take Putrid Imp here. Putrid Imp's a way we can get things in the graveyard early in the game. We'd like to find an Entomb. Entomb would be really good. What does this do? Return target creature from your graveyard to the battle. Another... Why does no one play this? Wait, Death is literally just reanimate for 1 more mana. Oh no, it's only your graveyard, I see. This hits any graveyard. It's almost reanimate for 1 more mana. Are we taking even more reanimation? Is it possible to just have too much reanimation? I think so. Inferno Titan's like a bad reanimation target. Ooh. Search your library for 3 cards and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 1. Put the card in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. I mean, that's probably worth it, right? This is like... That's gotta be worth it. That's like, get our 3 reanimation targets, put 2 in hand, or 2 in the graveyard, 1... One in hand? Yeah, I think we gotta take it. We might take this Voidwalker, in part because it's busted, and in part because we don't want to play against it. I guess we could take Restless Fence. It does loot. Voidwalker is just so strong. I mean, our deck's just going to be about cheating big things into play. I think that's it. Doomsday. I don't think we're a Doomsday deck, but we'll put it in the sideboard just in case. Actually, Blood Tithe Harvester is kind of fine here. If we can actually cast it. Take the Fatal Push. All right, big things. We need big things. We need the big payoffs. That's what we're missing. We need an Archon, Emrakul. Could have technically done Zerta Companion. Oh, well. I mean, we can't complain because we opened one of the strongest cards in the literal history of the game in Time Walk. I kind of would have rather just opened some big thing. Like, given the choice, I kind of would have rather just opened like an Archon or something, but we're already kind of in blue. We are going to have to focus on a little bit of mana fixing if we're going to make this work. Thoughtseize I do like. That's a card I'd love to have in the deck. Time Twister we don't want. Brazen Borrower's fine. Thieving Skydiver Spellseeker also fine. But, I mean, Time Walk is Time Walk. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Time Walk, yeah, I don't even know if that's a hot take. It is just actually busted. I'm getting a little nervous that we don't have anything good to reanimate. We also are not great at filling the graveyard. We might have to take Faithless Looting. Like, Wormcoil we could theoretically reanimate. It's just like, we don't want to put all this effort into reanimating and be getting back a 6/6. We want to be getting back, like, game over, gotcha. It is very good with Recurring Nightmare. That is true. Metamorph is also kind of cute. I think we got to take Looting here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wormcoil come back around, honestly. I don't think Wormcoil is, like, that high of a pick. Rona could be worth it. Rona fills the graveyard. And it's a body that we can Recurring Nightmare off of. We're gonna find a way to win the game. We got to. Triplicate Titan. This is another card, like, it's gonna wheel, right? It's gotta wheel. There's no way. Should we just take it and make sure? I mean, I guess Rona might wheel too. All right, well, let's take it. We got to make sure we have at least a finisher in the deck. So now we have a Triplicate Titan. We have at least one finisher. I think it is very likely that it would come back around. Because I think outside of being Reanimator, and we drafted pretty much all the reanimation in the cube, but outside of being Reanimator, or maybe like an Academy deck, this isn't a card most people will want. So we were probably safe to take Rona there and then get Triplicate on the way back. But it is very, very sad when you end up in a archetype like this and then just don't get that one piece. Like, being the nut Reanimator deck, having everything you want and then just not getting the finisher. So this does, it reduces our risk. Like, our deck has much less downside now, because worst case, if we never get anything else, at least we can cheat Triplicate Titan into play, which I think is like it's like a solid B reanimation target. It's not, I don't think it's S tier, but it's a solid B tier reanimation target. Flesh Gorger is also kind of like another solid B tier reanimation target. It's not exciting, but it's like, it's functional. The fetch land might actually be in the conversation here. That might be, yeah, I'm feeling like we kind of need the fetch more than, I don't really want to be reanimating Flesh Gorger. I think I'm just going to take the fetch. I think we need... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So there's the Emrakul. There's the Emrakul. Emrakul does not work with traditional reanimation. It is the best show and tell target. Like, show and telling Emrakul is about as good as it gets. Shallow Grave 100% will come back around. Even though we're kind of late in this pack, I think it is very close to 100% that Shallow Grave comes back around. That is a kind of late fast bond. Sucuri is actually pretty good with it filling the graveyard. It's just in awkward colors. I think we take the Emrakul. No. Emrakul, not Talisman. There we go. I think we take the Emrakul. Ooh. Liliana could be good. Liliana is kind of perfect for what we're trying to do. As like a removal spell that also lets us discard cards if we need it to. I've paid 7 for the ward on Fleshgorger too. It does hurt. Yeah, there is still a chance we find a sneak attack. We could take Savi Triome. I think we just take Liliana. Wasteland, Pyrokinesis, Fiery Confluence. Fire Ice, maybe? Maybe Wasteland's worth it. I don't know if our mana base can support Wasteland. We want to draft lands, but we'd rather them not be colorless, given the choice. Yeah, Fire Ice is boring, but it does what we need it to. Ooh, Beseech. Can we make Beseech the mirror work? I guess Collective Brutality would also be fine. Like, Escalate makes it a discard effect. Beseech the mirror, what would we be sacking? Artifact, enchantment, or token? I don't know why they added Beseech to the cube. It actually seems, well, so we get a token from Blood Tithe, maybe. It seems hard to make it work. Yeah, probably just got to be Collective Brutality. Like, Duress plus Pitch Something's pretty decent. So this is what? White, green, red. We can get it off of our fetch land. We can get it with Golos. Scrub land is probably worse. Brazen Borrower is not bad. We're still kind of light on finishers. We still have not gotten like the big finish. We have so much reanimation. Thieving Skydiver is actually very good too. Maybe we just take, you know what? Let's take Skydiver. I do love Skydiver. Maybe Metamorph? Yeah, not much else in the pack. Yeah, take Metamorph. Ooh. Take Leyline Binding. Well, we got the Fleshgorger. Ooh, do we even want the Fleshgorger? Do we want the Sparris Headquarters? Sparris Headquarters might be better. The Wormcoil didn't come back. Fleshgorger did. Yeah, let's take those Sparris Headquarters and the Inditha Triumph. Okay, we got a little mana fixing, which is huge. Okay. Come on, deck. Oh, there it is. Okay, we found a real reanimation target. We found a real one. Triplicate Titan's fine, but Griselbrand is still S tier. Like, Griselbrand alongside Atraxa. So the problem with Blightsteel is Blightsteel also shuffles in. Otherwise, it would be the pick. It might be the pick at least. But the fact that it shuffles in, and we only have show and tell so far, and we already have an Emrakul, I think means we gotta take Daddy. We gotta take Griselbrand for sure. This deck could also be a Chrome Mox deck. We don't have much fast mana, which is kind of okay because we don't need a lot of mana, but I mean, it's easy Griselbrand. Easy. Glimmer Lens. What is this? Whenever equipped creature and at least one other creature attack, draw a card. Oh, that is super far away from what we're doing. Inti might actually be the best pick here. Inti is actually a sneaky powerful card. When you attack, you can discard a card. When you do, you get to put a counter on something, give it trample. When you discard a card, you can exile a card, play the card. Yeah, I don't think we actually want boots. I'm not sure it's actually necessary. I don't know if we can afford to spend a turn to get out on the battlefield. Like, Vintage Cube is just so much. I think we take Inti. Vintage Cube is just so much faster than. I think Inti is actually, like, legit good. I think it's actually really good. Ooh, that's a Minskin Boo. Minskin Boo, that's another card from Timeless. My God. This card's ridiculous. What about Currency Converter? 1 mana. When you discard a card, you can exile that card from your graveyard. Pay 2 to loot. Tap it, put a card exiled with it in the graveyard. If it's a land, make a treasure. If it's a non-land, make a rogue. We also have, like, the best fetch land. We probably just got to take the best fetch land. A Biomancer is great with Nightmare. Fury, meh. Doesn't even see Modern play. Could it really be that good? I think it's seeing playing literally 0% of decks at the moment in Modern. Overrated. I actually think we just need the mana to work. There is a risk that our mana is not going to work. This pack has nothing. Says like Emery, I guess, like fills the graveyard. Epicure, yeah, that also makes a blood token. I don't think we want a ritual in this deck. Is it Epicure or Emery? So Emery can recast Metamorph, Golos, I guess Triplicate Titan. Yeah, I guess Epicure is probably better. All right, we'll take the Epicure. Ooh. Palantir. I do love me some Palantir. Mystic Confluence. Bounce, draw, counter. Malcolm Loots. That's a way we can get Griselbrand in the graveyard. We never found like an Entomb. We never found an Entomb effect. We don't have a tutor at all, actually. Fiery Islet's good. Urborg actually would be okay, probably. Do we have enough ways to get things in the graveyard? I wish we had a Mind Twist. Yeah, I don't think Gruff Triplets... Is Gruff Triplets good enough of a reanimation target to be worth it? Yeah, let's take the land, be responsible. I mean, Hedron Crab fills the graveyard. I don't know if we want to just randomly mill ourselves, but it does fill the graveyard. Dark Confidant draws a card every turn. The classic Dark Confidant Emrakul deck. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I mean, most of our deck is super cheap. At any cost. Sometimes you hit the Emrakul and lose. Such is life. I mean, we don't really have much creature removal. We could actually just take the Dismember. That might be the best choice. Have just a touch of actual removal. I'm not a big fan of... What do we think about Virtue of Persistence? Is there any way this is actually good enough? Is there any way 7 mana is so much? But what else are we taking? Stoneforge does nothing. The lands are off color. I guess it would be Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, we don't even really need green, though. So Overgrown Tomb isn't really... You know what? Let's take the Virtue. Let's try it. We'll give it a go. We don't really need green mana. The only green card we have is Life Death, and we're never gonna cast Life. That's not part of our plans. So I'm perfectly fine with treating this like a black card. I honestly don't know if it'll make our deck at all. Rugrin Triome or Dark Slick Shores. So red, blue. We can get it with a fetch. Yeah, Triome's probably better. Dark Slick Shores is good too. Ooh, Zaggoth Triome. Urtai. Urtai might be better. Urtai's more removal. And it does work with Recurring Nightmare. I kind of like Urtai. Psycho Smurf! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Ooh, Dragon Rage Channeler. Dragon Rage Channeler does fill the graveyard. I don't know if we have the spells to support it, though. Let's try Urtai. I feel like Urtai might actually be good. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Now we get Stone Nothing. Actually, FTK. FTK could be a thing. At least in the sideboard. There could be matchups where FTK was really good. Ooh. And we get back a Phiomancer. That's actually a nice late pickup. Tamishi, when one or more 9 creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card once each turn. White and X, bounce a land, return artifact. Yeah, that's way too much wording. Let's take the Thespian Stage. I don't think we play Thespian Stage, but let's take it. We will play Urborg. And we will put Murktide in our sideboard. Well, we got a pile of Magic cards. We have a pile of Magic cards. I've been struggling to brew in Modern, but this standard deck has been an absolute blast, and it's literally $20. Ooh, let me take a look, Psycho Smurf. Ooh, some mono black aggro. That's like super cheap in paper. That looks super sweet. I like it. Could be a good budget deck. So funny. Like 23 in paper is about as cheap as the deck gets. 27 rares on Arena though. That's one of the challenges of making like budget decks in Standard now is there's just like such a huge difference between Arena and paper. 27 rares on Arena is actually like expensive-ish. Or at least not that budget friendly. But it's so cheap in paper. Oh, all right, how do we make this pile of cards do something cool? So what is the game plan of this deck? The game plan of this deck is to cheat Griselbrand into play. That's what we really want to do with this deck. We could also spin Golos. We have mana to support the spinning of Golos. We can reanimate a Carnosaur and see what happens. I guess Carnosaur into Metamorph into something. We need to cut a bunch of cards. We need to cut like a bunch of cards. Have I played Richard's Modern Jund deck yet? I haven't yet. It looks very Richardy for sure, but I haven't actually played with it yet. Use this deck to climb to Mythic. Oh, Layla Discover. I ran into someone who was playing in Timeless. They dark ritualed out Necro and then played Layla and just like exiled 18 cards or something in one shot. It was actually a super cool idea. Like Layla Necro combo. How do we build this deck though? Carnosaur and a Time Walk would be sweet. So we need to cut 6 or 7 cards. So, all right, for reanimation, Griselbrand, Triplicate Titan, Carnosaur, and I guess Golos. Do we cut Emrakul? Maybe we just cut Emrakul. Emrakul is good specifically with Show and Tell. But we could still Show and Tell like a Triplicate Titan or a Griselbrand. Yeah, it actually is kind of channel fireball-y. Yeah, I think we actually just dropped the Emrakul. Leyline Binding I actually do like because we have so many Triomes. We have 3 Triomes, 2 fetch lands to help find them. So I think that because of the Triomes, Leyline Binding is actually a pretty good removal spell. So we might trim back on... Okay, so we also have Reanimation. So we have Reanimate. We have Animate Dead. We have Life Death. We have Recurring Nightmare. I kind of think we just cut Life Death. Life Death is our worst reanimation spell, and I don't know if we need all the reanimation. Then we have Removal here. We need ways to fill our graveyard. So we have Epicure, we have Faithless Looting, we have Putrid Imp, Blood Tithe Harvester, Inti. So those have to stay. Then for removal, we have Leyline Binding, Urtai, Dismember, and I guess Liliana. Metamorph is sweet with Recurring Nightmare. Like, Recurring Nightmare Triplicate Titan. So good. Yeah, Brutality probably sticks. Like, these cards I really want to play. We could cut Fire Ice, I guess. We could cut Bone Crusher. Like, do we really need... Do we need Bone Crusher? What about Intuition? Is Intuition worth it? Like, I guess Intuition finds us reanimation or a finisher. Yeah, we probably got to keep it. So we have, what, 5 lands? So we still have to cut, like, 2 more cards. Maybe it is Fire Ice. Fire Ice is a good value card, but... Oh, what about Virtue? Is this actually realistic enough to keep? Have I tried Is It Phoenix in Timeless? It's wild how effective the plan is now. I haven't actually played with it, but I imagine it's pretty good because there's so much power in that deck now. You have the Delve cards. You get to actually Treasure Cruise on top of Brainstorm and fetches. So yeah, I haven't actually played with it, but I will at some point because it seems ridiculous. Yeah, maybe we just cut the Virtue as our last cut and run it like this. Recently stumbled into MTG Goldfish. Hadn't played MTG really in 25 years, but man, I'm loving it now. Hey, welcome back, Expotius. Welcome back. Welcome to the Fishbowl. How have you been enjoying Magic since you've come back? Yeah, let's try it like this. And then we add in the Islet. We add in the Urborg. This deck is kind of a pile. This deck, we'll see. Can we spin Golos? Red, black, green, white, blue. I mean, we can. It's not much blue mana. This mana base is going to be an issue. So we need blue. We need Johan Leafar. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. So I'm excited. Like, the deck has the possibility of doing some very, very big things. It also has the possibility of doing nothing. All this black mana is scaring me. Is our mana base wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Grizzlebrand, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, it might be right. Our fetch lands can get blue, right? They can get blue. Do we need one more island? We pick so much fixing and our mana looks so shady. Yeah, the big pile of swamps, I think, is making it look scarier than it is. Maybe we go down... Let's go down 1 swamp for an island. Really, we only need 1 blue sword. You know what? Run it. We're 1 card short. Okay, we can just add an island. How about that? How about add 1 island? All right, here we go. Let's reanimate. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be casting Grizzlebrand. We do need more black than anything. And our fetches can't help fill in the gaps. Maybe it's still too greedy. But this is double black. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's do some reanimation. Yeah, Life Death. So we have 3 other reanimation spells. I think Life Death is the worst of our reanimation spells. Only hits our graveyard. Does cost life. So it just ended up being a numbers game. 4 reanimation... Probably too many for where we ended up. If we had like a bunch of Entombs and we knew we're gonna like always have the Grizzlebrand in the graveyard, we'd probably just want as much reanimation as possible, but with where we ended up, like, we didn't get an Entomb or anything, so we'll see. We'll see how it shakes up. Like, we got good reanimation. We got the Griselbrand, which is huge, so we actually have a good finisher. Didn't find any tutors. So the deck's going to be really high power, but probably not that consistent, maybe. Are there any cards that aren't modern, that aren't legal in modern, that you'd like to see in Modern Horizons 3? Wasteland. Wasteland me. Come on, WotC. They'll never do it. Honestly, I'm not sure if I think that would be healthy or not. I think if you added Wasteland, you probably got to ban Ren in 6. But I think that's fine. Oh, no. We did add lands to this deck, right? Oh, boy. Okay. Well, one land, one keep. One land, one keep. This is a little scary. Okay. I guess we put a Golos to the bottom. I mean, we have reanimation. Actually, maybe we got to keep the Golos. Maybe put Intuition to the bottom. Yeah, let's put Intuition to the bottom. We might actually need to reanimate Golos if we get a chance. Well, into the Triome. Can we please draw some lands? Many, many lands. What would you like to see come to Modern? Yeah, maybe Port is a safer Wasteland. Wasteland would be so good against, like, Amulet. Ooh, that's actually a nice draw. I also wonder about, like, Force of Will. I almost want Force. I almost want Force. Honestly, after playing Timeless a bunch lately, it's got me feeling like maybe I want more busted cards. Hey, what's up, King of Carrot Flowers? How's your holiday season been? Good to see you. Good to see ya. Yeah, if I had to choose, I'd rather have Wasteland than Ren in 6, I think. Ren in 6 is one of those cards. I wish it would rotate, maybe. What about not Modern rotating, but Modern Horizons rotating? Would that be bad? I wonder if there's a way we could have just Modern Horizons. Like, Modern Horizons releases, and it's legal until Modern Horizons 2 comes out. There's just such a big price issue with that, right? Like, cards are so expensive. How do you buy a $1,500 deck knowing that it's some of the key cards will rotate? Yeah, the early days spells are so funny. Like, it's so funny how it's the opposite of creatures. Like, I've been working on, because a while ago we did the best creature of every year of Magic, so I've been working on a best spell from every year of Magic video, and it really is, in creature world, early creatures, absolutely horrible, and then they got better and better, and now creatures are pretty busted. Spells are the opposite. The early spells are like the most busted spells ever made, to the point where it's laughable. Like, why would you ever think it was okay to print Time Walk or Ancestral? And then spells have gotten progressively weaker because how could they not get weaker? Like, the baseline was so incredibly high with the Power 9 spells. But yeah. I don't know why they thought it would work. Even by 1993 standards, like, why you would think that was a healthy, good idea. This is interesting. So opponent has Saheeli. We can reanimate Golos, which we probably will. Burning Bush, welcome to the Fishbowl. Ooh, Price of Progress. Price of Progress is a good one. That is a really, really good choice. OG Reanimate. I could maybe get behind that. I could probably get behind OG Reanimate. Price of Progress I would really like to see. I was a little hyped about Flame Rift when it released last Modern Horizons, and Flame Rift fell flat. Like, it does not see any play in Modern. But you know, the other one that I really, really want is Pyroblast, Hydroblast, or Red Elemental Blast, Blue Elemental Blast. One of those cycles I think would be really healthy. More just like sideboard interaction hate cards. Stifle probably should be in Modern. Yeah, I would. I've had fun playing Stifle in Timeless too. Okay, so we need a sack Blood Tithe Harvester to kill the birds of paradise. Yeah, sack Blood Tithe, kill the birds. Then Blood Token, discard the Golos. Play a Swamp. Reanimate Golos. Golos. Get a Spara's headquarters. And yeah, pass the turn. That was a fine little turn. That was a fine, cute little reanimation turn. Golo's probably our least impactful reanimation target, but it got us a land. It got us a blue mana we needed. Yeah, and we get to hold up Dismember. Third Path Iconoclast. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Candelabra. Sure. I guess. Do we just dismember this now? Dismember, reanimate, time walk? That might be the plan. Ouch, ouch. Kill it. Untap. Draw an island. Well, let's... do we really... Is it a bad idea to reanimate the Third Path Iconoclast? I kind of want to. I don't know if it's worth it or not. What if there were other colors of blue-red Elemental Blast? Like, for example, black Elemental Blast, white Elemental Blast, green Elemental Blast, colorless Elemental Blast. Yeah? What colors would they hate on, though? So blue and red hate on each other. Like black and white? Maybe. What about green? What? You'd have to figure out Baja Blast. You'd have to figure out what color combinations each one would hate on. Well, let's go, Los. Attack the Saheeli. I mean, I think we do Time Walk here. That's the main reason to consider reanimating this, although it just gets stonewalled by these tokens anyway. So the opponent blocks. You know what? I think we do it. I think it's actually worth it. So reanimate Third Path Iconoclast. Play an island. Time walk. Take an extra turn. Make a token. Untap. Turn number 2. Swamp. Well, go to combat. Oh, we can't quite kill the Saheeli. Attack Saheeli. Attack Saheeli. One, two, three. I mean, we're one land away from spinning Golos, technically. I think we do, right? Blue, black, red, green, white. We need one more mana total, though. I mean, opponent... Yeah, they're going to block. Now we'll see. Play the Swamp so we can spin if we draw an untap land. Pass the turn. Well, let's see what our opponent has. What about Karakas or Sneak Attack? So Karakas, yes. I think Karakas would be a good addition. Sneak Attack, Honestly, Timeless, so far Sneak Attack has not been a big thing there. There's no, there's not a lot of fast mana. Yeah. There are like Pyretic Ritual, Desperate Ritual. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about Sneak Attack. Maybe Sneak Attack would be too scary. The fact that it hasn't been busted in Timeless gives me hope. If you would ask me like a year ago, I'd probably be a no on Sneak Attack. But it hasn't really been busted that I've seen so far in Timeless. It's definitely not like at the top of the meta or whatever, breaking everything. Maybe it would actually be fine. What about Show and Tell? Could we do Show and Tell? Show and Tell and Sneak Attack? Did you know that Time Walk used to have the wording target player loses next turn? Unsurprisingly, it created some big confusion as to what Garfield meant. I actually did come across that a while ago. I think that was the original playtest card. Really? Okay. They're using Candelabra as fixing? Narset makes a token. I would absolutely love to draw an untap land. Oh no, Narset Wheel. That's awkward. And we can't kill the... We need something. We need an untap land. We need an untap land. Come on, deck. Untap land. Arid Mesa. Crack Arid Mesa. Get a mountain. Well, here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. White and green. 6 and 7. Spin it to win it. Well, we hit a Triplicate Titan. So play Triplicate Titan. Go to combat. Narset. Narset. Actually, Narset in face. So opponent can wheel away our hand. But does that even matter? Opponent untaps. Does it even matter? I mean, we have a Triplicate Titan now. Yeah, we got no cards anyway. Like, how much is it actually gonna hurt? And they only have 3 mana, so wheeling's gonna like take their turn anyway. This is a good lesson of don't play. Oh, okay. So the Candelabra, I was just gonna go on a little Candelabra rant. It makes a little bit more sense with Tolarian Academy, but don't play Candelabra to try to fix your mana. No. That's a bad idea. Hey, Seth, wanted to drop by and say thank you for all the content. Wish you a wonderful Xmas. Thank you. Well, Agara, thank you so much for stopping by, and Merry Xmas to you as well. Yeah, target player loses next turn. Obviously, so what it was meant to be was an extra turn spell. The same thing it is, but that wording, obviously a little clunky because it could sound like loses the game next turn. So opponent discards a bunch of cards. Forlingus, Urza. So opponent's just, they're all over the place. Wow, they draw Mox. That's a hit. And a Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Was this the greatest wheel of all time? Takes down Narset. Hits a Tamiyo. I have no idea what our opponent's doing. Opponent's either playing a non-functional pile, or they have like the biggest brain combo deck that I've ever seen. There's no in between. It's either just like 4-color pile of stuff, or they're doing something like super next level busted with these LEDs and candelabras, and they're like storming off or something, and it's just like so next level that it's over all of our heads and we can't even see it. Yeah, I mean, you don't play candelabras and Lion's Eye Diamond fairly usually. But then there's also just like, I don't even know, for your Lingus, Ursa's, Wheels, Tamiyos, like it's a little bit of everything going on over there. Do you think they're trying to storm? They might be trying to storm. Like, LED, though, is... Wow, they have Soul Ring. Boy. They definitely high-rolled artifact-wise off that wheel. They wheeled into so much fast mana. A ridiculous amount of fast mana. And all that fast mana let them make servos to go with the Tolarian Academy. So they definitely... The wheel was very good for them. Saheeli with Candelabra and Tolarian Academy, it's all mana ever. Opponent turns a servo into a Soul Ring. I could be upheavaling. I mean, if they have upheaval, they definitely win here. We concede. Untaps their lands. Yeah, it turns out Golos, not a game-ending reanimation target. Plus Narset Wheel. Hey, what's up, Homebrew? Thank you for the bits. How are things? Opponent. What is our opponent doing? Yeah, you have all the mana. What are you doing with it, though? You have activated all your things. Maybe they don't have upheaval. If they had upheaval, I think they would have just won by now. Like, you don't got to think much if you're upheavaling. Opponents can keep pump faking. They could hardcast Emrakul. That is true. Okay. Opponent plays a Tamiyo. Sure. And then what? Gets back the wheel and spins again? Sacks, okay. Sacks the LED so they can get back the... They had upheaval in hand and they decided not to cast it. I would have scooped if they cast upheaval. Upheaval with this amount of mana, I would have... For Aerolangus, okay. Well, whatever our opponent's doing, it worked out here. Oh, sure, opponent, sure. Oh, that wheel was insanely good for our opponent. The wheel spun them into so much mana. Would Oath of Druids or Doomsday be too good for Modern? Doomsday, probably. Oath of Druids, yeah. Both of those cards, both of those scare me. That was a wild deck a wild kill for our opponent. Definitely looks like a random pile of cards, but it all came together. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, Tolarian Academy is kind of ridiculous. Tolarian Academy makes so much mana. Well, okay, we will keep. We have bad news, opponent. We have a Doothy Voidwalker this game. Doothy Voidwalker means our opponent's not going to be able to do those silly graveyard shenanigans, at least. Yeah, Oracle's just a mistake. Maybe it's similar to... Ooh. Yeah, I think we still just play the Voidwalker. It might be similar to Wasteland, where, like, we could probably have Doomsday with no Oracle. So maybe you gotta ban Oracle to free Doomsday. Oracle, I love alt win cons. I mean, that's the whole shtick with Against the Odds and so many of the videos I do. Thassa's Oracle is just like too easy. It's not even really entertaining because it's just too easy. So to make me not like an alt win con, it's pretty over the top. Ugh. All right, discard the Golos. Discard the... We missed lands again. Discard the Urtai. Do we actually have to reanimate Golos again because we missed a land drop? So awkward. The other option is what? Kill something? Yeah, the problem is we missed our land drops. Like, we had so many options if we hit a land off the Faithless Looting. But now that we didn't hit a land, we have, like, no options. Yeah, I think we got... I don't think we have a choice, unfortunately. Well, reanimate Golos. I mean, our colors are going to be good. Which I guess is nice. Get in with the Voidwalker. Next turn we can kill some stuff, hopefully. We'll see. We saw our opponent's deck go off last time. I'm very scared. I'm very scared about what our opponent's deck can do after we saw that kill last game. Tolarian Academy and a bunch of fast mana. Alright, opponent. Vern Catacombs. Gonna start making clues. Sure. So far, we've reanimated Golos twice, which feels so bad. It feels so bad. I mean, we know they got a bunch of fast mana because we saw last game, so it seems like Skydiver should be able to snag something decent eventually, right? It's got to. It's gotta. Opponent cracks the Catacomb. And... Alright, gets a Triome. And, well, that's something we're stealing. Soul Ring and... Walking Ballista. Well, okay. We draw a Swamp. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. I think we kill the birds. Actually, do we? Maybe we kill the tracker. What are we more scared of here? Oh, Snuff Out would probably be a good one for Modern, actually. Maybe that could bring back... Death Shadow. So we're going to go to kill something. Our opponent, I assume, was going to Ballista in response to kill the Voidwalker. The problem is they can just start cracking clues and growing this tracker. You know what? I wish there was an actual Christmas theme. No, traditionally they called Vintage Cube Holiday Cube because it would always go up in the holidays. That was the one time a year they would put up Vintage Cube was why everyone was on holiday break. So that was actually the original name of it. But no, an actual Christmas theme cube that would be interesting. The reason I'm thinking of killing the tracker is we know we can brutality the birds next turn. But if they crack a clue, we can't brutality the tracker. So we kill the tracker this turn. Presumably our opponent's going to Ballista down the Voidwalker. And then yoink the Soul Ring. And then next turn we can brutality plus intuition. Or Faithless Looting. I think that's got to be right. All right, so we're gonna kill the tracker. See if our opponent kills the Voidwalker. They don't. That's actually kind of surprising. Well, we will 1, 2, 3 kick a skydiver. Steal the soul ring. And I am a little worried about dying. Attack, attack. Yeah, let's get in there. We gotta kill him. We gotta kill him. Have you tried Mono Blue Malcolm Luring Scoundrel Brawl deck? It's pretty busted. I haven't. Is it pretty good? What's the strategy of Malcolm in Brawl? Are you trying to like get to the cast stuff for free mode? I think Daze is kind of a miserable card. I don't know if Daze should be in Legacy even. I don't know. I love Mana Dive, and I know Daze is kind of similar, but it seems like Daze mostly powers up tempo decks. Do we want those decks to be better? Like, is Murktide already good enough? I think that's what a lot of it comes down to, is like, how would it impact Murktide? Which is back near the top of the meta since the most recent bannings. I wonder, did Wizards just break Modern with Modern Horizons? Looking at Murktide, well, opponent, okay, just takes the beads down to 10. Well, we're going to pass the turn and see what happens. The Ballista is a little worrisome. They can put another counter on it. We are at 11 because we've been killing ourselves. Oh, I see. So like a Brawl. I remember Brawl in 1v1 Commander and how busted that was. Yeah, I could see that being pretty being pretty annoying on that play style. Brawl actually maybe I gotta make a video about this because no one cares. Brawl literally killed the format. Like WotC, I remember playing it. I don't know if there's probably videos of it, the Brawl deck. So WotC tried to make this push to make 1v1 Commander a thing. Especially on Moto, where they were really pushing it hard. But they want to make 1v1 Commander a thing. And Brawl essentially was so busted in that format. And the deck was basically just Brawl and a bunch of counter spells. And then sometimes you'd play like polymorphs to in the late game, polymorph Brawl into something that could win the game in like 2 or 3 turns. And it literally became the tier 0 deck in the format. And people actually just like stopped playing the format, and then Wizards stopped supporting the format because people stopped playing. It like literally just killed the entire. Yeah, it was just oops all counters at a discount because you got Brawl. Wasn't sure you'd be streaming. I wasn't sure I'd be streaming either, but I figured I found time to sneak in a little bit. I gotta go in. What time is it? Probably another half hour or so to do a dinner thing this evening, but managed to get a new stream, do some vintage cubing. How are you, dear Marcello? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a good holiday season. Opponent loves the pump fakes. Nope. Yep. Tap him, untap him. Tap him again. Wait. Untap him. Yep. Hold on. Being hasty. Okay, I'm gonna ping the Voidwalker. Sure. And now Cryptic Command to pick up the Soul Ring. And then replays the Soul Ring. Alright, that's annoying. I can't believe our opponent's deck is casting Cryptic, but fair. Fair. Well, hit our opponent for... This is actually kind of tricky. So hit our opponent down to 5. Should we just discard our entire hand? I feel like we need to kill the birds. And we need to duress. And I kind of want to drain. Yeah, I think we just actually discard our entire hand. I think we do all three modes. And we duress you, kill your birds, drain you. Discard. Hit you to 3. Well, opponent's hand's a bunch of degenerate stuff that doesn't actually matter here. Well, we will pass the turn. So we got rid of the wheel, which is big. Opponent has LED display circuit in. They do get to sack the clues from the tire. Opponent's is... their deck is all over the place. It is just like anything that might be broken. Throw it all in and hope you draw the right combo at the right time. Opponent gonna crack another clue. I mean, they can play Displacer Kit into Chump Block because they got back their Soul Ring. And opponent, not even gonna try. Okay. Whew. Yeah, opponent is one of the scariest decks I've seen. Thankfully, it's a little scattered, but still, they just have all the broken cards. They just put all the broken cards together. Has the Timeless meta settled? I mean, I think it's still kind of in flux now. I'm sure we'll get some tournaments for it at some point, which will really help it settle, but I would say... if this was a red land, I think we'd keep this hand maybe, but... yeah, we just won't ever cast anything. Well, alright. This will keep. More okay than thrilling, but... Alright, well, let's see what happens. Opponent, Stomping Grounds. Birds of Paradise. Opponent's always got that birds. Every time, every game, got that birds. Opponent, Botanical Sanctum. And Saheeli. Well, we might actually have to kill the Saheeli here, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe Fire and Ice is worth it, although really there... Yeah, Saheeli really went off in game 1. I think we do have to just get rid of it. Although they're not really winning with creatures. Like, they have some support creatures, but... As we saw last game, they're kind of almost like a Stormy ramp, or in game 1, they're kind of like a Stormy ramp deck. So I don't know about bringing in like more fatal pushes and stuff. Ugh. He says as they play a Third Path Iconoclast and a retro. What a weird deck. What a weird deck. Well, I mean, I guess we can steal the Foundry. This doesn't want us to discard cards. Oh. Well, do we just do it? I mean, you don't play Show and Tell and Griselbrand and then not Show and Tell your Griselbrand. Well, new plan. We have arrived at a new plan. Oh, come on, opponent. Nothing scary in hand, please. Show and Tell. Opponent, we're going to class. I will bring my Griselbrand. What do you bring to Show and Tell? Nothing? Okay, nothing sounds good. Well, we will pass the turn with a Griselbrand. So opponent has 2 spells in hand. Modest of Mind! Thank you for the raid! Hello, Raiders! Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing some cube drafting at the moment. Opponent. Is this Walking Ballista X1? Sure. Why? Opponent. Passing. Oh. Okay. This is all very good news for us. We untap. We draw a Recurring Nightmare. Well, we will go to combat. Attack our opponent with Griselbrand. And we have the Time Walk in hand. Hit ya. Draw 7 cards. Play a Swamp. Collective Brutality, 3 modes. 1, 2, 3. Duress you. Kill your birds. Drain you. Discard Triplicate Titan. And Swamp. Opponent makes a servo. Okay, sure. Aetherflux Reservoir. They have Aetherflux Reservoir too? Opponent. Opponent. Well, we were gonna Time Walk to take an extra turn. Oh, we can't quite win next turn, can we? Time Walk to take an extra turn. An opponent scoops it up. Yeah, that was a pretty good Vintage Cube turn. We got kind of lucky to draw that Show and Tell. Our opponent got as good in game number 1, but apparently our plan of putting a Griselbrand into play for 3 mana also kind of broken in its own way. What did you do today on your stream, Modest of Mine? Were y'all cubing as well? Isn't Kitten a combo piece with Tamiyo and LED? Yeah, that would be actually, right? You could... So you play... Wait, would that work? So you play LED to blink Tamiyo. Crack LED for mana. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have something in the graveyard that can... Sand's not very explosive. I guess if you have something in the graveyard that can win the game, then it would be, I think. Let's put Voidwalker to the bottom. All right, let's draw a Griselbrand. We got the reanimation. We got the Blood Tithe Harvester to get something in the graveyard. Opponent has a Mox. Can we find a Griselbrand? Ooh. Hard evidence. What? Well, I mean, Carnosaur is something. We're not above reanimating a Carnosaur. It's not exactly Griselbrand, but it's better than nothing. Kaido Suzuki. Wait, is that crab so you can attack with... Are we getting crab attacked? Is it actually... Yep. It is actually correct. Gets it. Draws a card. Yeah, drawing an extra card every turn. Starting turn 2. That's going to be an issue. Well, play a Mountain. Play a Blood Tithe Harvester. Pass the turn. I mean, next turn we can get down a Carnosaur. And even... Well, we can't Time Walk too, can we? Well, let's see what our opponent has with their handful of cards. I got the wife the One Rings Holiday Picture... Wow, another Planeswalker. Holiday Picture Bundle for Christmas, and now she wants a Gandalf deck. Ooh. Kills the Blood Tithe. Jeez. Opponent's kind of going off over there. Takes up to Teferi. Oh no, Teferi shuts down Carnosaur too, doesn't it? Oh, this is disastrous. Oh, opponent's just like a control deck with the beautiful nut draw. Liliana can't even cast it. Oh, so Carnosaur is like actively... What a nightmare. Carnosaur is like actively bad now. Yeah, I haven't paid much attention to the new Lord of the Rings cards. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand during an opponent's turn, exile that card with 3 time counters on it instead of putting it in your graveyard. Then if the exiled card doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Ooh, Wizards, it's kind of funny. They went very hard with suspend synergies, didn't they? And they had Doctor Who had suspend, Lord of the Rings, the Holiday Edition randomly had suspend. Yeah, that'll be interesting. It seems like a cool build around Doug. Hmm. Well, I mean, I guess we discard the Carnosaur, draw a card, triplicate Titan. That actually would have been better. Um, hmm. I mean, I guess we take a bad time walk. This is a tough spot. This is a very tough spot. We untap. Turn number 2. Bloodstain Mire. Well, Bloodstain Mire. Crack it. Get a swamp. Liliana. Kill the crab. This crab did an absurd amount of work. That hard evidence, my god, did that do a ridiculous amount of work for our opponent. Opponent. I mean, I don't think it's 99% over yet. We're definitely not in a good position. The turn 2 Kaido draw an extra card every turn has been tough, but I mean, we have Griselbrand in our deck. Can't be another 3-mana Planeswalker, right? No. All right, that's actually enough to make me concede. I don't really want to show our opponent the reanimation. There is unlicensed and random graveyard hate in this format. I don't think it's worth showing it to our opponent. Have you looked at Lara Croft Secret Lair Drop? Thinking about picking it up as a single. Yeah, Lara Croft. To me, how do I find it? So the Lara Croft card, I think it's fine. My takeaway was it was kind of pretty open-ended. So I think if you want to build a Lara Croft deck, it's a fine commander. It doesn't really ask too much of you. Like, I guess it's got this light legendary theme, sort of, but really you can kind of just play whatever in its colors you want to. So I don't think it's like a super overpowered commander or anything, but I think it's strong enough that if it's a card you like and a character you like, you can definitely build a decent deck out of it. How much is a single? I imagine it can't be that much, right? I can't find the cost listed on the site for some reason. Well, we got a show and tell. We got a show and tell. We'll see if it resolves or if it matters. So we are gonna need black mana eventually. Can this fetch get black mana? I mean, I guess we're about to find out. Arid Mesa crack it. Yes. So let's get into the triome. Pass the turn. Opponent. Oh, 15 isn't that bad. In Pioneer, I am looking to get a deck. I'm in between Amelia and Grixis Decembrew. They both cost the same. What would you recommend? Ooh, well, I know the Amelia deck's actually like putting up some pretty good results. So I think it maybe partly depends on yeah, I guess we just tap land Tapland go. So I think it partly depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to like grind competitively without knowing what the Decembrew looks like, I'm pretty confident that the Amelia deck's a real enough deck that you would be able to take it to tournaments and play with it. So from that perspective, I guess I'd lean toward Amelia, but you know the Grixis Decembrew, and you also know what your plan is. Like, if you just want to like play for fun, or you don't care about like how competitive a deck is, or you think Grixis Descend is really good and you love it, then go for that one. Ooh, Atraxa in the graveyard. This would be a good time to draw a reanimation spell. Good time to draw a reanimation spell, maybe. Perhaps. So, I think we will cast a reanimate on Atraxa. Thank you, opponent. We will get an Atraxa, drop to 12. Take a Urborg, a Liliana, a Leyline Binding, a Faithless Uni, wow, a Dismember, a Liliana, I don't know, 5, holy goodness. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cards. Do we actually want to take all these cards? Yeah, we'll take them all. And then we will time block real quick. Just a super quick extra turn here, maybe. And opponent scoops it up. Okay. Turns out reanimating Atraxa is pretty decent. That's the upside of not showing our opponent our reanimation there. Like, the fact that we didn't show our opponent the reanimation spells to the Mind Twist probably let that happen. I think if our opponent knew we were a reanimation deck, they're probably a lot less likely to just randomly throw Atraxa in the graveyard. We should cut show and tell. We got no fear. Can't play afraid. Our Griselbrand, does it beat their Atraxa? Oh, all right. I mean, this is an interesting hand, actually. I think we put a Phiomancer to the bottom. We could really use a land, but this could be a very fast triplicate Titan. You're probably actually right about. Oh, there's a swamp. Okay. Well, swamp and putrid imp. Go. The question's gonna be: do we just go for it, or do we try to brutality first? Do we have seen answers in our opponent's hand? Oh, well, okay. Well, opponent might have Thoughtseize, so I guess that makes it a non-issue, since they're going to take our reanimation anyway, I'm sure. Yeah, takes the animate dead. Opponent passes. I mean, we got more. We got more reanimate. Oh, show and tell. Well, Arid Mesa. Crack Arid Mesa. Maybe we just got to get a Triome. Yeah, take the Triome. Hit you for 1. Is Atraxa better than Griselbrand? I think so. Charticores for our opponent. I think so. Atraxa, it depends on the deck, but in a vacuum, I think Atraxa is probably better. You don't have to lose any life. Wow, didn't pitch any reanimation targets. Well, we draw a mountain. This would be the greediest show and tell. I'll play the land. Yeah, we're going to wait. We're just going to duress. Let's duress. Get a peek. Wow. Bone Shards, Mind Twist, Shallow Grave. Oh, so I can reanimate a Tally next turn? They can. This is not a great spot to be in. I guess we take the Shallow Grave and then we get Mind Twisted and just... Yeah, take the Shallow Grave. Play the Epicure. I mean, I guess this is oddly kind of fine, right? So our opponent can't get an Etali next turn. I would have never guessed they were a reanimation deck. So the problem is, if we take Mind Twist, then next turn they Bone Shards, kill a thing, discard Etali, reanimate Etali, and then we probably lose. If they Mind Twist, well, they do Recurring Nightmare. Interesting. The problem is like, yeah, this is the show and tell paradox here, where we can show and tell. The problem is they get an Etali, and who knows what else comes with it. So we show and tell, they get an Etali, we get a Triplicate Titan. Do we win that race? Probably not, right? So they get an Etali. I mean, Triplicate Titan is a faster clock. Go to combat, hit ya. I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we dare do it. I don't know if we win from it. I mean, not only that, we saw Atraxas, we have Griselbrands in our deck. There are some really big hitters. Let's play Fiery Islet. Let's Blood Token. Discard the Triplicate Titan. All right, we just draw a Swamp. Pass the turn. I think we're better off trying to reanimate it. What's record with deck 2? We're 1-0. We snuck out a win in the first round. This one, we're 1-1. I'm not super confident. Our opponent's got an Italian hand and some scary stuff. They're having some mana troubles, though. They draw Mox. I mean, they can Mind Twist away our hand. Yeah. A little overkill, but that's fine. I mean, we get to crack our Islet and draw a card. If we hit Reanimation, we just want to hit one of our... We have 2 more Reanimation spells, right? Faithless Looting. And a Swamp. Well, I mean... Well, that's looting. Awkward. Discard. Discard. Yeah, discard. Play the Swamp. Get in, hit ya. Opponent goes to 10. Opponent. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That's a problem for the future. And Bone Shard discarding the Etali. That's a problem for now. Ooh, opponent spins into you. Oh, you called it. Yeah, called it. That's is Etali a mistake card? Tally. Wow. That is absolutely brutal. Hitting the time. Someone called in chat that they'd hit the time log, and you were 100% correct. I feel like I've heard some people say, not in Constructed, I don't think it's a mistake card, but I've heard some people say that they think that Etali's like kind of a problematic commander card, that it's too good of a commander card. And I am actually like not that might be correct. I'm not convinced 100% either way, but it is kind of just 7 mana. Like the amount of value you generate is kind of ridiculous. It is 7 mana, that's for sure. But in Commander, like, I don't know. It's so easy to ramp. Honestly, probably the biggest thing is, and this is never going to happen, but I'm coming around on the idea that we need to start accepting land hate in Commander. I don't know if this is a something that can sell people on in general, but I actually think like uh, Commander probably would be better if like I don't know if Armageddon was socially acceptable, but if more forms of land hate were socially acceptable, because I think when people complain about Etali, I think part of the complaint is, oh, I'm just like, my Etali is coming down on turn 4 consistently or whatever. Like, I think that's a lot of the heartache of it is just like, in Commander, you play in this format that has ridiculous ramp and also this like weird unwritten rule where you can't mess with people's ramp. So it just ends up being like this game where you just kind of it reminds me of the Battle Cruiser week on Commander Clash. Like I think Battle Cruiser week was probably one of the worst games we played this season on Commander Clash, with the idea being like, oh, what if there were no interaction? You can't wrath, you can't counter, you can't do anything. I think it actually makes the game worse. Kind of interesting. I don't know what the right level is. Like, at the same time, people would definitely be frustrated, and rightly so, by just like turn 4 Armageddon most games or regularly in their Commander games. So that's not better either. I wonder if that's something Wizards can crack. I wonder if there's a way they can figure out a way to make like some form of land hate enough to make it like enough to help slow down the green ramp decks, but not enough that makes people quit the game. I feel like Confounding Conundrum's not good enough. Like, I feel like that's the right idea. Like, that heading in that direction of, like, slowing down the ramp decks without being, like, in Armageddon, you don't get to play magic effect. I feel like, I mean, no one plays it, right? Like, it's essentially a card that just didn't see play anywhere. So maybe something like that, but, like, maybe it needs to be like a 1 mana artifact or something. Maybe it needs to be like an effect that anyone has access to. Opponent to second fairy in a row. It's one of the weird things about drafting cube in a pod is the same card's gonna be in multiple decks or outside of a pod. Well, I mean, I think we replay Voidwalker. Plays Para's headquarters. Go to combat. Do we attack the Teferi? Yeah, not yet. Let's just pass. I mean, we got the Voidwalker for next turn. It did its thing for now. Opponent. Restrict ramping, but how do you restrict ramping? Like, how would you even make that happen? I don't know if that would be the like ideal solution anyway, but are they just gonna bounce the Voidwalker again? Alright, so opponent's trying to be like a super frenzy deck of some kind. Opponent passes. We draw into the triome. Ooh, wait, so we can play this. We can crack this for a mountain. White, green, blue, black, red. Well, I think we get to kill both planeswalkers. So we take a mountain. So we Leyline Binding to get rid of Teferi. And then Carnosaur to get rid of the Jace. All right. Well, that is two of the best planeswalkers in Magic down. Not a bad turn. Not a bad turn. Yeah, isn't that the challenge variant? Like, yeah, that's the easy way to do it is stacks or blow up lands, but people hate getting stacks or their lands getting blowed up. There's got to be a way to do it that's painless or less painful. Wow, we've seen so many 4 Air Linguses. So many. I think we've played against this card in 3 different opponents somehow. Across, what is this, match number 6? What are the odds that everyone has 4 Air Lingus? Well, opponent becomes the Monarch, hits us for a bunch of damage. We need a good draw here. Griselbrand. Well, 1-2. Blood Tithe Harvester. Not feeling good about where we're at, honestly. Not feeling great. Blood Token. Discard the Griselbrand. Reanimation? No. Well, Doothy Voidwalker. Ugh, yeah. But our opponent's drawing extra cards. I mean, pass the turn. Boo. No wonder that card's all over in Legacy. Yeah. I wonder if this card was designed to be like a Legacy staple. I'm not sure that it was. You never know with like Universes Beyond and Commander stuff. Like, are they cards that Wizards like intended to have like be one of the best cards in a format, or do they just think, oh, we're gonna build this like random Commander card? It ended up being way better than they realized. Group Hug Ramp usually ends up with more people having fun, not competitive, but and can King make, but it varies. Yeah, ramping everyone. And the thing is, like, ramping's always going to be beneficial, right? Like, if you have the choice, more lands is better than fewer lands. But it's also true that not every deck takes advantage of ramping to the same extent. Ugh. Well, we did not find any reanimation that game. I wish Balance was... I mean, I love Balance. I do love Valence, but it's a brutal card. I don't know where the line is. I feel like better Confounding Conundrum is kind of where I'm at now. Like, Confounding Conundrum, not good enough. We need to get, like, better than Confounding Conundrum. Probably colorless. But at the same time, I don't think Commander players in general would be happy to, like, deal with Balance on the regular. Like, I think that would lead to its own set of issues. Well, yeah, this deck ended up kind of janky. Hey Seth, what's your opinion on getting timed out on MTGA while executing an infinite loop that would win the game? It sucks. It's very, very annoying. I mean, my take is, I guess, like, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. On one hand, like, you got to have the clock, right? There has to be a clock or else people will abuse it, and people will still abuse it and make you sit there forever and rope and do all that stuff. So there's got to be a way to end the turn, or you'd run into some salty person who just, like, halfway through your game gets up and goes to work for the day and just leaves you hanging there, and then you're forced to concede if you want to play any more Magic in the next 8 hours. So, like, there has to be a clock, but it definitely is annoying to be playing at a proper pace and doing everything right and still get timed out. I think the magical Christmas land scenario, what I would love, here's what I think the actual solution is I think you want a way to automate the combos. Like we've seen Moto do to some extent, even though they could do even more with that. But I think that would go the furthest. The biggest improvement would be if there was a way you could just automate the combo. So, this hand is not working out. This deck's not working out. Our first deck was so dominant. This one, not so much. Collective Brutality, you. Opponent remands it. But I think it should be a non-issue because there would be a way to be like, I want to do this 20 times, 100 times, a million times. And once your opponent doesn't do it, or doesn't respond to it, then it just automatically sets your life total to 1,000,000 or whatever the result of the combo would be. Like that would be the dream. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's even. Oh jeez. I'm sure it's. What a random blowout. Speaking of land destruction. Land, maybe? Well, we hit a land a little later than we wanted, but we did hit one. Well, let's attempt to duress again. Brainstorm, Flesh Gorger to Fairhill. God. Well, I guess we take the Brainstorm. All of this is bad. Now, even if we show and tell, they're going to have Teferi. Second, maybe Carnosaur is just bad. Or maybe we're unlucky that we ran into multiple Teferi players in a row. But Teferi definitely wrecks Carnosaur. Like, there's no point in show and telling a Carnosaur with a Teferi out because it just straight up wrecks it. We really needed that Collective Brutality to... we needed something. We're in a bad spot. Opponent takes up the Teferi. So now this does nothing, this does nothing. The rest of our hand doesn't really do anything. Land? Wow. Well, I guess we got one really good deck today, and then this deck just ended up being a very clunky pile. Hit the Teferi to 4. Opponent. I mean, you can draw a card, but it's not. When you build your entire deck to reanimate something, you don't want a 7/6 that draws you a card. You want to win the game ideally. So that is true that you still get some value out of it, but if you're going to be Reanimator, you really need reanimation to be straight up game ending and not like, oh, I got a cute little bit of value. So I think that's where it's really failing us. Well, I mean, I guess we discard the Triplicate Titan. Pass the turn. Yeah, when Reanimator has its the not Reanimator deck, I think is one of the strongest decks in Cube. This is not the nut Reanimator. There's no Entomb. We got the reanimation. We got a good reanimation target in Griselbrand. Triplicate Titan, I think, is actually pretty bad. Like, it's very medium. Very easy, very dealable. Like, we're seeing so many Teferis and so forth. They're just all cards that are very good at actually dealing with a Triplicate Titan. You reanimate, it gets bounced or swords. It does seem sweet with Recurring Nightmare. No. Okay, they flashback Lingering Souls. Well, we will get rid of this Teferi, finally. Pass the turn. I mean, we could try to just show and tell the Carnosaur and see what happens. The Teferi is gone, so at least we get its trigger. We gotta do something. We're behind on basically every metric. Oh no. Golos. Oh, getting worse. About it. Yeah. You're gonna tutor out a land. Oh, I mean, I think we're just gonna fire off show and tell as a last gasp effort because they're about to start spinning Golos. Like, this game's pretty much over unless a miracle happens. So we need the Trumpeting Carnosaur miracle right about now. Well, okay, Griselbrand. I guess that's probably better ish. Well, show and tell. Griselbrand. Draw 7. Draw 7. We need to hit Time Walk. and a blue sword. Okay. So play the island. Time walk. Well, I mean that was the best we could do. So now we pass the turn, discard about 1,000,000 cards. Oh, I mean that is as much as we could hope for. So what is actually relevant? We can Carnosaur. We really need more removal. That's what we really need. Because they have this worm. How do we deal with this worm? So discard this. 1, 2, 3. I think we got to hold on to the swamp, maybe. Discard this. We might still be just spinning Carnosaur next turn. So maybe we got to hold on to a mountain. We have 2 swamps. All right, yeah, let's hold on to the mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I guess it's Voidwalker. All right, extra turn. We draw a swamp. I know. If its mana value was 3, we'd be able to skydive it, right? But unfortunately, it's full price here. We have 12 cards in our deck. We don't have a sweep or anything, right? So we're just like hoping for the best. I'll go to combat, get him a Griselbrand. Gain back some life. Play a mountain. All right, Carnosaur. Please. Recurring Nightmare. Does that... Ooh. Well, that actually maybe kind of does something. Recurring Nightmare. Triplicate Titan. Sacking the... Well... Sack the Griselbrand? Yeah, let's sack the Griselbrand. All right. I mean, we're not dead. We're not. There might actually be a chance we win this, which is absolutely ridiculous. We were so far behind this entire game, but the power animation, once it goes big, it really goes big. What's your favorite part of New York? I went to school in Binghamton. Ever had a speedy? What's a speedy? I don't think I know what that is. Oh, no! Come on now! You gotta be... that wasn't in your hand when we'd arrest you. We saw your hand, opponent. Well, that's the power of treachery. I told you treachery was a good card. Yeah, it actually became a pretty entertaining match. We almost made the comeback, but they can spin Golos, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to double block the... Yeah, this one's super bad. Double block the Flesh Gorger. We dropped to 3. Opponent gains back their life. Yeah, stealing the Triplicate Titan is going to be the thing that absolutely crushes us. Free spells are usually probably not ideal. Treachery is a cool card. If they're going to put a free spell in standard, I guess Treachery would be one of the better ones. But this mechanic, like, straight up broke the game. The untapped land mechanic. It seems like a fair way to do, or a fairer way to do free spells, because at least you got to get to, like, 5 mana before you do it, or 5 lands before you do it. In practice, though, still pretty busted. Still pretty busted. Turns out that anything being free just actually ends up breaking the game. All right, here's the Golo spin. Well, all right. They get a Fallen Shinobi. They can't cast their 4 Aerolingas. 4th Aerolingas. We, though, don't really have a way to win from here. Our Triplicate Titan's going to win. It's just, unfortunately, not going to win for us, I don't think. We already used our time walk. And we play the land. Animate dead. Carnosaur. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Carnosaur. Into Voldaire and Epicure. That is not going to do it here. Voldaire and Epicure. We can get back the Griselbrand, but even that's not really enough. Well, let's Faithless Looting. We need to find Leyline Binding to get rid of the Treachery. Well, discard. Looting. Leyline Binding? No. If we had hit the Leyline Binding, maybe. But we didn't. Ugh. Good game, Triplicate Titan. We never got Triplicate Titan to go off, but it went off for our opponent. Hey, what's up, Dominant Nomad? How are you? Good to see you. Do you think there's enough cards in Magic to do a fully free commander deck? No cheating in cards with mana value 0. That would be fun to watch. Ooh, maybe. I'll have to look into that. There might actually be enough free spells. The problem would be the commander. I don't think you can have a free commander, and you'd probably have to be 5 colors, but I bet there's enough if you're 5 colors to do it. But do you think, anyway, everyone, that is some cube drafting. Deck number 1 was pretty ridiculous. Deck number 2, it was Reanimator, little inconsistent, which is what we thought going into it. The good games were really good. The not so good games, a little janky around the edges, but anyway, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today, but we'll be back next Tuesday to have some more fun. In the meantime, definitely check out the YouTube. Tons of stuff going on the YouTube. There's a sweet Against the Odds going up tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. And reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube for all the old streams. Normal YouTube, already mentioned that one. And one more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, so you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Thanks for hanging out, having some fun, doing some cubing this holiday season. I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing night and a great holiday, whatever you're doing this holiday weekend. I'll be back next Tuesday to have some more fun. So until then, everyone, have a great day. Have a great rest of 2023, and I'll see you in 2024. Until then, I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.